Yo, what's going on, everybody? Xanthos Voice here, and we are back with some more Punishing Gray Raven. I hope you guys are having a great night so far. Yeah, I know, I'm doing this extremely late, but I'll be up front. I did not get that much sleep last night. Then I ended up going to the movies with a friend of mine. Then after that, I don't know, for some reason I was just really tired, so I ended up taking a nap, just finally made my dinner. Had to wait for the rain to pass a bit because it was pretty bad earlier today as well when I was done with the movie. And then yeah, I just decided might as well do it now since I have free time tonight. So anyway, where we last left off, we had finally finished Noctis's floating record Sansa Raft, and it was a pretty interesting one. It doesn't like directly set up everything for Aeon Reforged, but it does give you a good start to the situation. Considering it's like it actually does take place before Elisa Echo's chapter. I think it was called Everlasting Dream, if I'm remembering correctly. But yeah, it's where it's like we're starting to see it progress to that point and actually understanding who Nigel was. Because again, it's like we saw like a kind of like an injured form of him back then when we were together with Watanabe, but I didn't really know too much about him to really like get an understanding of like what kind of individual he would be and why Watanabe was kind of shocked at seeing him then. But now with all the context from then, especially from someone who's familiar with Noctis as well, it was very interesting to see that. And also actually seeing Cerberus work as a team once again, because even though some of them can be kind of like blockheads and they're really just for themselves, it's like in the end, Cerberus ain't Cerberus without all three heads. So pretty cool. So yeah, anyway, we're gonna continue with the next floating record, which is Bridget's. I think it's called One Day Breaks. And I know, right? Like, really? Out of all the names they could have put it, they put that? After all my gameplay of Trails of Daybreak, just had to create something like this. If Divine Wing were here, or is Divine or somewhere else? Who makes like that stupid quote that we have for this? But yeah. We're just gonna go through like around 2 hours of this because again it is very late where I'm at right now. It's like 10:55 at the night at the moment, so I'm probably just gonna go until like maybe 1 o'clock. I'm hoping I can get to halfway because like I said, I want to make progress with this until we reach the end of the month. That way I'll literally be almost all caught up by the started or after an entire year of playing this game. Because I'll be honest, I did not think I was going to be as engaged for this. Like, don't get me wrong, it is made by Kuro Games, and y'all know I'm a sucker for good stories, but again, I just did not think it would go this far that it's like I actually spend my free time playing this game as well. Regarding Left Unsaid and Reveries with a Whale, I am going to keep those on the back burner just because I don't feel those are necessarily as significant, just because we don't really have Bombinetta usually around for most stuff, but Vanessa, it's like, it is intriguing, but it's like, they're ever focused on the ones that are like more currently linked to some things and would kind of give me closure on some things. Just like we had with the Noctis one and actually understanding Han Ying and her relationship with the Church of Machina, so hence why it's like those two, I won't necessarily count that, but as long as I can finish all these other ones, that'll be fine. And like I said, I will do an interlude stream at some point, so then I can have this unlocked for when I need to. But then again, the other problem I guess is going to be that Bianca's chapter will be opening up sooner or later, and it's like, oh god. Now I'm gonna have one more thing to have to pile on. But again, it's not necessarily too much of a rush, I just want to see how much I can get done within a year. So yeah, without further ado, let's go ahead and check out Bridget's chapter. Especially since I don't really know jack shit about Bridget, except she's part of like what was it, the general force or support force of like Babylonia, but nothing more besides that. Fissure in the wilderness. Families of the Constantine disaster survivors must unite. Sever answers and compensations. So if I had to guess, this could either take place before Elisa's chapter or after and before Aeon Reforged. If I had to guess, I could be wrong, it could be after Reforged and before the Chu Shukra Kao Long chapter. Heavy-duty vehicles traverse the uneven terrain under the slanting rays of the setting sun. Roaring engines kick up thick clouds of orange sand, swirling in their wake. In a rail car, an old radio fights its way back to life with a weakened hoarse crackle. Even after the punching virus outbreak, we cannot tolerate deserve answers, compensations. The vehicle hits a bump and the radio sputters out one last noise before falling silent forever. Didn't we just fix this thing? The pregnant girl scratches her hand and pounds on the radio a couple times while driving. At 5:30 afternoon, Gavaret. The radio miraculously just back to life after emitting a long hum. You got quite a knack for fixing things, Bridget. It's almost the end of our shift. That broadcast, is that another protest you organized? So, Norman Mining still hasn't released a detailed accident report? No. And the more they try to keep things under wraps, the more I'm convinced they're hiding something. Mom and Dad were the most skilled rescue workers out there. They were only human, yet they managed to save so many lives from the wreckage. There's no way they would die in a minor mining accident like that. Oh, never mind. Okay, she was more in anger for that. Damn it! I thought it was like just kind of like a neutral thing. But I see. She's also had an incident with like Norman Mining Corps. I swear, the Norman Mining Corps has like some serious family issues. Like, first the obvious point with Teddy and her siblings, then with Max's wife, and now this? Like, seriously, what the fuck is up with them? Oh, don't miss your stop. This is where you get off, right? Oh, yes. Thank you, Bridget. You wouldn't be able to go there to gather food if it weren't for your heavy-duty vehicle. See you tomorrow. Yep, see you tomorrow. The girl peeks up at the top of the vehicle, smiles with her hand of sadness as she watches her last passenger of the day head home. Must be nice. Her family must be waiting for it at home with their rations by now. In the distance, the setting sun flares as it descends over the wilderness, as if squeezing out its last bit of brilliance. If only the incident at the Constantine mine had never happened. If only her parents' old friend hadn't been in danger. If only she'd stopped her parents that day and locked them at home. Then her parents would also be waiting for her at home with their rations. Phew, that's enough. There's no use dwelling on what-ifs. What's done is done. This time, I'll make them hand over the accident report. She rubs her face and settles back into the driver's seat. The radio crackles again and starts repeating the words she knows all too well. Even in the chaos of the virus outbreak, we cannot accept our loved ones' deaths without recovering their remains. The mine collapsed. Miners vanished. And every rescue worker who risked their lives for others has disappeared without a trace. Norman Mining cannot use the punishing virus outbreak as their excuse. Families of the Constantine disaster survivors must unite. We deserve answers and compensations. I know, maybe it's projection campaigning, but still. Such naive nonsense. Don't tell me people actually believe this. A large crowd is gathered around the corner, in front of the mine, holding handmade signs with anger on their faces. Of course people do. In dire times like these, people need something to hold on to. The researcher waiting by the door comes up for a broad smile. Right on time, Trojan. Not gonna run away anymore? Running away won't get us paid either. At least the Colonel Corporation paid us. Hyde, did you really think I wouldn't notice what you did to my frame behind my back? Oh wow, you actually remember my name. I thought I was just Researcher A to you. Trojan scoffs at Hyde. Her eyes narrow as she watches the protesters gathered outside the mine shaft. How long are these people gonna keep this up? You can't exactly go in through the front gate now, can you? It's a bit of a pain, but I think we could request to use the elevator in the monitoring room that goes straight down. Sure, there's always more than one way to hell. Just like herself. Even without Kurna's deception or this Constantine mess, she probably would have died somewhere else anyway. Perhaps even worse than it is now. I mean, not everyone gets to live a carefree life in this turbulent world. While Hyde tries to request elevator access, Trojan dawdles toward the crowd, still in the standoff with the admins. The crowd is gathered behind the girl with brown hair who's standing right before the metal gate. She must be the troublemaker leading this protest. Of course I'm the survivor's family. My parents were rescue workers who took on Norman's rescue commission for the mining incident a month ago, and they never came back. According to the rescue team's code of conduct, if anything happens to rescue workers, the responsible party must issue an accident report. The responsible party is a laboratory contracted by Norman. We don't know. That's not an excuse. We want the truth. What was the cause of the mining accident? All mining machinery should have been removed and replaced with manual labor after the punishing virus outbreak. How did the virus suddenly break out in the mines? If there really was an outbreak, given how fast it spreads, so why are most of the mining sites in Constantine still in operation? Fair point. Because yeah, I didn't think about that. Yeah, how would they even be able to conduct mining stuff with machines? Especially since they're so rooted to the ground, and most of it wouldn't necessarily be too mobile, considering it's in a pretty enclosed space. Not to mention, the punching can literally spread from anywhere by this point in time. So yeah, why would they even have that? I mean, I understand why they would continue working, but you'd think they go through more manual means, considering humans have already had at least a couple tens or hundreds of years in developing the mining process. That. Yeah, so you keep stalling, then dodges behind the metal gate, slamming another heavy door shut before disappearing into a room. Every time. Slams her fist into the gate in frustration. It's already been a month. What else can we do? They're making deals behind closed doors again. I hear they're raising the compensation. Permanent residency in a safe area plus 6 months worth of supplies. It's making some people waver. Let them take the offer they wish. They have the elderly and children to care for. They'll need this to survive. They should take it. But what about you? I'll never give up. Her pupils are blazing like an inferno ready to burst and burn through the massive gates before her. We're not getting anywhere. Babylonia will send someone here to screen for humans with good compatibility for cosmic modification next month. I've already signed up. Cosmic modification? But the mortality rate is so high. They trample on us and our loved ones without hesitation just because we're ordinary civilians on the surface who pose no threat to their empire. What if I become a construct of Babylonia? What if I could reach the higher-ups in Babylonia? Dead or alive, I won't let them hide in darkness forever. Wow, that's some dedication. Because in the end, yeah, it's they just want the truth. It's not like they're asking all of them to step down or for Norman Mining Corp to disappear. They just want to know why. Or at the very least, Bridget. Because again, they have the right to know. It's their loved ones, after all. At least if there was a possibility to save them, or if it really was just a freak accident, they could be more accepting of it. But this, it's just always going to continue being in the back of their mind. Again, it will create that distrust in people more and more until it affects their everyday lives. But I see, that was Bridget's plan then. It's kind of similar to what Lee did in order to give his brother a better life. Except Bridget instead is actually using it to get the authority that she needs in order to reach those accident reports. I'll bring the truth to light, no matter what it takes. She glances discreetly at the brown-haired girl leading the group without her usual derisive attitude. Such powerful drive in life. Georgia squints her eyes to feel a surge of vibrant energy. Sensor modules experience an unusual warmth. A rare sensation for her. On a moonless night. Forget it. It's too bright. I feel a little under the weather. Oh, okay, so we're seeing like the beginning of her thing. You're moving at a snail's pace, Hyde. Looks like your clearance here isn't what it used to be. Your benefits and salary must have taken another hit. Huh. It's just a transition period. As a newcomer, I can't expect better benefits than everyone else. But the day will come. I mean, what would they do without my flawless work? Wouldn't you agree? Well, here's hoping you can keep up that pride forever. Alright, the request came through. Let's go. This way. Points to a smaller hill nearby and makes a dramatic after you gesture. You sly fox. Caution is simply a researcher's natural disposition. Dismissing Hyde's remark, Trojan sluggishly strolls toward the hill. Nearby, the brown-haired girl appears to have gotten the tip-off and starts sprinting in their direction. Trojan finds herself slowing down again for no reason. She passes by the brown-haired girl, nearly hitting her shoulders. Don't tell me you're gonna run away now. If I wanted to run away, would you even be able to stop me? The elevator hidden between the rocks faces downward, drops once again into the darkness. $5%. Okay, so how much would that be? Well, then again, that's expecting that it goes up another 5% after, so 10%. Oh, so 21. Okay, so as long as I get through 10, I should be fine, I think. Support force, yeah, so that's where she is. So, this is support force. Oh, I'm so sorry. Are you alright? Bridget accidentally bumps into a female consort carrying a big stack of documents where she takes a step back to get a better view of the expansive training grounds. I can't really give her a voice because I can't see. The female consort quickly starts bowing without fixing her crooked glasses. Her braids almost touch her shoes every time she bows. But I'm the one who bumped into you. I'll just read it normally for now. No, it's because I wasn't watching where I was going. Well, now that we know each other, hi. I just been assigned to the support force as a construct. Name's Bridget. Rulin. Rulin adjusts her glasses, looking uncertain, takes the files from Bridget and starts speaking with a stammer. I'm a construct from support force. Because I made some mistakes during a mission, I'm now being trained again. Tears begin to well up in her eyes as she speaks. I was so close to passing the training evaluation. I wanted to enter the task force. Hey, don't cry. Bridget panics. She's not sure how to handle this construct's sudden burst of emotion. I'm so sorry. I shouldn't be like this. It's impossible to be perfect all the time. I've blown up quite a few vehicle fuel tanks before. At least now I have a chance to make it right. She's ruling a reassuring pat on the shoulder. Yeah, you're right. Unless Bridget's just trying to comfort her, but she can't even remember the last time anyone cheered her on. Dead weight. That's what they all call her. Perhaps her terminal illness damaged her motor functions before she was turned into an attacker construct. That's why she can never keep up with her team. Only one person wholeheartedly believed in her. Believed that one day they would fight side by side. Rulin? Rulin? Sorry. She apologized without thinking. You don't need to apologize all the time. It's not a good habit to have. The training camp is telling us to assemble. I better get going. I'll come with you. Need to complete enough training hours to pass the assessment. Wonderful. Let's do this together. Rulin is Bridget's first friend in support force. Here, these files just came in. I'm handing them over to you. The training data for this batch of newcomers looks pretty good. Wait, why is this kid's strength so unusual? Are you sure this kid is assigned to the right team? Hey, Trojan, come take a look. Gives her colleague a gentle nudge. His construct was assigned to support force just days ago. Some had reservations about the direct appointment, but she was definitely qualified. To avoid getting complaints, the captain only assigned her to train new recruits. It says here that she voluntarily joined support force. Well, that's good. Support force could use more people like her. If everyone were like Rulin. I'll leave these new recruits to you. I'll do my best. She barely made it out of a hellhole alive, thinking that she could catch a break, only to find herself stuck in another. It'd be almost impossible to get out of this hellhole. Her frame isn't good enough to have an atmosphere and vacuum dual flight system. The sound of a long sigh and mutters under her breath. Guess I have to ask for a raise. What's wrong? It's nothing. I just mean that all the newcomers here look promising. Was a professional fake smile. Support Force's training protocol is very complete. Trojan may not be familiar with their rules, but creating training sessions using existing guidelines should be easy. You again? Trojan crouches next to an exhausted Rulin with a defeated sigh. This won't do. You're drawing too much attention. Bridget flips through Rulin's training data with knitted brows. She's unsure how to continue training this supposedly attacker construct with abysmal physical capabilities. As a barely qualified professional spy herself, she'd rather not have her name end up on the blacklist alongside Rulin's. Rulin, you okay? I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to hold everyone back. I just... So sorry. I feel like your balance control system is a bit odd. This could cause trouble. Instructor, may I team up with Rulin? I'll be the team lead. She had recognized the brown-haired girl on her first day as the new instructor of support force. I suggest you focus on yourself. She'll drag down your average score. She won't cause me any trouble, ma'am. I can help her without compromising my performance. Rulin's also my first friend here. Right, Rulin? The brown-haired girl's smile is so radiant that Rulin gradually stops sobbing and gives a gentle nod. Thank you, but I don't want to be your burden. Come on, don't push off my good intentions. Bridget reaches out to help Rulin up, then gently dusts off her clothes. Ma'am, I'll show Rulin how to complete the rescue mission she was just working on. The rescue simulation system uses a standard frame version designed for support force training. It's different from your own frame, so you need to adapt to it right away. It's up Support Force's real-time rescue simulation system once more. Well, I'll be honest, I never used this frame. I've only tested it in trial, but nothing aside from that.
私がドローンから救援状況をリアルタイムで確認し、適宜フォローするわ。1段階目は救援目標の探索だ。現場の詳細情報を支援人員が教えてくれるなんて、ゲームの中だけよ。現実では、あなたたちこそ、その情報を調べる最前線の人員なんだから。行動を開始して、カウントダウンは始まっているわよ。了解です。
Okay. Support Force Rescue Guidelines. During a rescue mission, always save people with high survival probabilities first. Make sacrifices where needed. Alright. Gotcha. Frame combat techniques. Frames of the support force are extremely good at defense. It's necessary to dodge your attack. Right, because to save their defense for when they really need it, right? Because again, to protect the civilians. I guess that does make sense. Now for this. Tracking techniques. Frames of the support force usually come with a scan system. With a scan system, the better observe the details of the environment. Ooh. Right, because again, they have to know where enemies are and how to avoid them, and how to get civilians out safely without getting caught in the crossfire.
教科書で習った複数救援の定義を覚えている？
最低限の救援成果でより多くの人を救うんですよね。
そう。生存率が高い順に安全を確保する。待って、何やってんの？
早く逃げて。冷静に選別をすることよりも自分が救援活動に加わることで選別そのものを変えたいのです。
自分が何をしているか分かっているの？この任務中に遭遇した警察隊をいちいち相手にしていたら任務目標が救援から選別になってしまう。
分かっています。誰かが生き残るために私がリスクを負うべきなら私はそちらを取ります。前方注意、会議して。これは最終警告。大丈夫、かすり傷。ここは私が食い止める。その程度の前方注意、会議して。ここは私が食い止める。ここは私が食い止める。
ありがとう。見捨てないでくれて。
お礼は不要よ。
ただのシミュレーションシステムの任務でよかったわね。熱意だけでなんとかなるほど現実は甘くないから。
精一杯やりました。自分を恥じることは一切ありません。
そう。じゃあ2段階目に行くわ。手がかりを分析しはぐれた3名の救援目標を捜索して。
血が止まらねえ。誰か。ありがとう。あんたのおかげで助かった。
お礼は不要よ。前方注意、会議して。これは最終警告。一歩たりとも超えさせない。
死ぬかと思った。助けてくれてありがとう。
お礼は不要よ。その程度のここは私が食い止める。前方注意、会議して。前方注意、会議して。私まだ生きてる。ありがとう、本当にありがとう。お礼は不要よ。
タイムアップ。ここまでよ。
a real-time rescue simulation system powered on, Bridget stands breathless in the training arena. Bridget, what were you doing just now? Ma'am, I was carrying out a rescue mission. And that's not my question. This is not the procedure specified in the multi-party rescue protocol. According to Support Force's multi-party rescue protocol, priority should be given to individuals with higher survival rates, making tactical choices when necessary. It's not what you just did. I concluded that I had enough strength left to save another group of refugees. You concluded? I doubt you even went through that process. There wasn't even enough time. You got me. In real combat, even the slightest mistake in your controls would kill you, not just the fragile refugees. Mr. Trojan's dismay, seeing Bridget put herself in danger, so there's an unusual feeling of anxiety in her. But I successfully rescued all of them. My mother told me that when we're in a crisis, we don't choose who to save. We should first resolve the crisis. Even if your choices kill you. Even if my choices kill me. I'd love to give you the perfect answer. But you act at the drop of a hat before you can think. A few days here with the Support Force, she sighed more times than she did the entire year. No one wants to be part of the ones that get abandoned. That's why I'll always try to save everyone, as long as I can still move. That's the rescuer's code I set for myself. A girl meets Trojan's gaze without a hint of fear. Whatever works for you. She can't change Bridget now, but it doesn't matter. Sooner or later, the world will teach this radiant girl some harsh lessons. Trojan quickly scribbles her evaluation on a notebook as these dark thoughts linger in her mind. The only one to achieve a perfect score in Support Force's recruiting training. This is crazy. So this is how it feels to move as a normal construct? How do you feel? So this is why. It wasn't because I was too weak at all. Roland finally musters the courage to tell the frame maintenance staff about her past condition with Bridget's encouragement. I see. Yes, you have a point. Very few can achieve frame compatibility after terminal illness, so we haven't really refined our adjustment protocols for such cases. Staff runs tests and readjusts Roland's frame components and calibration parameters. Roland returns to training, her performance improves dramatically. This doesn't really help my cover mission, but whatever. Trojan casually scrolls through her terminal in the shadows before focusing her attention on the two young women help each other out in the training area. Hey, that move, you've got it all wrong. She hesitates but finally decides to give a warning. Like this? Actually, never mind. I'll show you how it's done. Trojan sits down at a terminal where he signs towards to the light. The Seeker. On the day of Support Force recruit graduation, Babylonia's weather simulation system creates a brilliant sunny day. Pressed by this year's recruits, Support Force Captain approves limited funds for a modest graduation ceremony. Despite Trojan's protests and obvious reluctance, the graduation ceremony goes ahead in full swing. Bridget, look! My evaluation report. With this, I can finally apply for a transfer to task force. That's wonderful. See, I told you could do it. Well, thanks to you, I'd probably still be dead weight in the class without you. Thank you, Bridget. Don't mention it. That's what friends are for. Bridget gives Roland's shoulder a friendly pat. But I still want to thank you in my own way. Roland carefully pulls her 3 colorful cards from her pocket with excitement. I managed to get 3 movie tickets from the WGAA. Would you like to watch it with me? Huh? Where's Jeffrey? He's away on a mission on the surface, but I'm not just asking you because he couldn't make it. You're not my backup plan or anything. Look, to prevent resale, the tickets all have our names. Bridget, Roland, and T. Trojan? Yes. Dr. Trojan's helped me a lot, so I wanted to invite her, but I'm a bit scared to ask her. What's there to be scared of? Come on, I'll go with you. I haven't seen Dr. Trojan since earlier. Uh-huh. She's hiding somewhere, but I know exactly where. Let's go. Leaving the noisy ceremony behind, Bridget gets rolling through shortcuts past the training grounds, supply areas to the support force warehouse. I had no idea there was a shortcut. Yeah, I'd like to explore if there is downtime between training sessions. So that's how I know. Who's there? Georgia instinctively moves her hand onto her weapon. I knew you'd be here. We only managed to get 3 movie tickets. Care to join us, Instructor Trojan? Not interested. Trojan casts a tired glance at Bridget and the timid Roland, feeling mentally drained. Why would they leave? The Chrono Informer will be here any minute. Those tickets are really hard to get. They're not transferable and really went through a lot to get them. I'm really not interested. It's true. She's never been interested in the Golden Age. Maybe only a little. The only thing she cares about is hoarding actual gold. Movies are just actors acting out the lives and desires of others. When a character in a movie finds treasure, it doesn't help you in any way in real life. When they suffer. Isn't real world suffering much worse than the stage dramas in movies? Is that really what you think of movies as a form of entertainment? Is there an issue? Sergeant ponders how to get the two of them to leave while she waits for Bridget to continue the argument. Okay. I mean, it's subjective. I may not understand it, but I respect your perspective. Let's go, Roland. When's our movie starting? It starts at 7:30 in the evening. Bridget quickly leaves her a tape for Roland, leaving Trojan momentarily lost. Still, I guess this is better. The coroner agent arrives exactly 5 minutes later using secret signals before entering this corner warehouse that has no surveillance. 7:30 tonight at the new outdoor theater at WGAA. You'll receive your next mission info there. The keyword is popcorn. Why are you holding out your hand? Ticket? I'm not gonna pay money to get info for my new mission. Since when do employees have to pay to work? I can't make that call. I suggest you inquire with logistics support. File for reimbursement afterward. You better hope that works. I've got other stuff to do. See ya. Foreman leaves in a rush for fear that Trojan might grab a chair and smash it over his head. Too scared of Babylonia to set up more encrypted channels? Forcing these stupid rendezvous? Now I'm even supposed to pay for this myself? Damn it. I want to play quit. Oh, it's already 5:30. How am I supposed to get those cursed movie tickets? Wait. Let's go, Roland. When's our movie starting? It starts at 7:30 in the evening. Georgia paused for a moment before making a call. Bridget, is Roland still with you? Well, Night falls and a few stars begin to glide across the simulated sky. The WGAA spent a fortune bestowing projection equipment for the Golden Age, built a new outdoor theater to regularly screen classic films shot on Earth during that era. The chairman of WGAA claims that the films help those who have lived in Babylonia for too long remember their homeland. Placed so close yet so far. That's good, because in the end it kind of reinforces all the progress they made on Earth. It's actually a good way of thinking about it. This excuse is a bit far-fetched, but Babylonia approved it. Yeah, I mean, it could be far-fetched, but it actually is reasonable. If that is the reason. The modest outdoor venue, fighters and staff from Babylonia filled the seats in high spirits. Someone brought homemade snacks and various electrolyte drinks. Let's see. This is us. Oh, Trojan. You're so early. Surprised to find the blue-haired construct's already sitting there with her eyes closed. Several gold bottles lying by her feet. You're here. You did do her a favor, so Trojan forces a polite smile. I wasn't gonna come because I don't really care for this kind of entertainment, as you know, but the drinks I ordered just arrived and they expire in 3 days, so I brought them here. Or they would go to waste. Here, for you. Hey, I thought constructs don't need to eat. No way. It's the limited edition beer like alcohol flavor electrolyte. The what? Constructs don't need to eat, but we can drink electrolytes like these. This is amazing. Jeffrey and I have been dying to try this, but we can never get our hands on it. Wait, I thought alcohol flavor electrolytes should have a shelf life of 30 days. Anyway, thank you. Don't worry about it. I'm glad you like it. As her gaze away uncomfortably. She's not used to handling such direct displays of emotion. Is the movie about to start? Guidelines dim as the massive screen raised by the WGAA staff flickers for snow-like static. This one should be called The Twilight Seeker. I heard it's a really old film. This is my first time watching a movie. The movie begins. On an endless wilderness, golden sands, and gun smuggling are in the air. The sun is dipping low. Pulsating convertibles race across the vast landscape. Cloaks billow widely, and the dusty wind is stuttering with hoofbeats, ripped through the air. For more slowly, but Bridget and Rulin are already lost in the symphony of light and shadow. Even Trojan finds herself drawn to this world on the screen. As the sound of mechanical gears breaks the silence, the massive screen suddenly goes dark. What's going on? I think there's something wrong with the projector. The projector's short-circuited. Screening will resume in approximately 3 minutes. Please remain in your seats. Thank goodness. It'll resume. I thought it was just gonna stop right at the cliffhanger. Trojan, where you going? The movie is gonna resume in 3 minutes. I'll go and get some popcorn. Trojan's walking in the darkness for a bucket of popcorn. Ridiculous sweet aroma rising with an irritating intensity that disrupts her rare moment of peace. And among the popcorns, a note with several timestamps written in code. Constantine, support, eliminate. Oh, wait. She has to eliminate Bridget? And why is it being brought up now all of a sudden? Such emotion wells up in her. She cannot tell whether it's satisfaction or sorrow. Comes to know in the darkness and returns to her seat. Popcorn. Can constructs even eat that? It's fine. Eating occasionally can stabilize a construct's mind. Didn't you learn this in cultural training? Mind if I try some? Here. She giggles playfully as she shares the bucket of popcorn with Rulin. Here, try some. Gives a handful of popcorn and puts it in Trojan's palm. At the end of the movie, everyone meets their destiny. The villain who had all the cards falls victim to their own greed. The vengeful hero rides off into a new life. I was so worried the villain would get the happy ending. If I were the protagonist, I wouldn't have got myself into that situation. Trojan, the movie's over. But I spaced out. From that ending, right? It was amazing. Yeah, it was. The despicable and greedy will get what they deserve. And this is how any story should end. Right? Wait, Trojan, you're going the wrong way. The dorm is this way. Constantine. The Constantine mine was one of the early mines that Norman Court invested in. Alright, let's review support force mandate. Officially manage on-field demands. Ensure precise coordination, targeted support, and timely assistance. Hold on to every spark of hope, no matter how small. Exhausted support force members mechanically recite their mandate. Why are we getting another mission already? We're gonna be worked to death. I heard there's big trouble at the Constantine mine. That's probably why they're sending so many of us. It's just a mine, isn't it? Shouldn't Task Force be handling this? Oh, okay, never mind. Maybe it's not specifically Bridget, but they want to eliminate someone in Constantine. Or maybe eliminate the support force at Constantine? It's no ordinary mine, it's a tantalum mine. Intel says there's been a sudden punishing virus outbreak. Several underground Norman mining core tantalum labs have suffered heavy losses. The punishing virus has been around for so long. Why are they only reporting it now? Who knows what's really going on there? The job landed on us because this mission requires both rescue and scouting teams. And most of the task force is still fighting the corrupted on the surface. I see. So that's probably why Bridget decided to be a support force type construct. Because if it was just like the task force, she'd just be busy fighting the punishing all the damn time. And engineering, she would mainly just be stuck in Babylonia the whole time. See that newcomer there? The one with brown hair? She shouldn't even be here. She literally just got out of training. Our captain would never let her join if this wasn't an emergency. And she didn't have a relative on the rescue team for the Constantine mine collapse. Rulin, what are you doing here? I thought you applied to transfer the task force. The application will take a while since it's an interdepartmental transfer with no special circumstances. I heard you applied for this ground mission. I might not be as strong in combat as you are, but at least I'm familiar with support forces' other operations. Looks like we'll get to fight side by side again. Yeah, and also with Instructor Trojan. Instructor Trojan? Is she part of this mission too? I saw her over there earlier. The construct is filling we're assigned weapons. One of these days I'll need to get rid of this flashy hair color. Quickly pack up and load all the supplies onto the transport aircraft. For this mission, the support force was split into teams to enter different areas of the Constantine mine. It was no surprise that Trojan, Bridget, and Rulin were assigned to the same team. So the mine never gave a reasonable explanation even after you went to Babylonia? Yeah. According to the rescue team's code of conduct, if anything happens to rescue workers, the responsible party must issue an accident report. But even after I sent a formal inquiry as a support force construct from Babylonia, they still refuse to respond. It's clear they're hiding a bigger secret, and revealing it will cause them more trouble than being investigated by a construct. Heartless bastards. I have a feeling whatever caused this accident this time also caused the previous collapse. The only difference is that this time they lost control of the situation. I'll find the truth of what happened to my parents. I refuse to let them fade into the darkness without a trace. Yeah, you're Bridget. I know you can do it. Grillo clutches her face to show support what Trojan's face remains hidden in the shadows. Right, because it sounds like even back then they didn't have time to deploy the support force to help people, because it seemed like they all had to help themselves. The Constantine mine was one of the early mines that Norman Mining Corps invested in. The advancement of construct tech helped them see its true value and resulted in the construction of this massive underground tower. Even the most experienced Constantine miners wouldn't dare claim to know each of the vast underground tunnels. With all residents evacuated from Constantine Town, support forces left working in the dark, relying on the most basic methods for rescue and investigation. Nearly all power to the mine was lost in the accidents, so the only lights are the dim glow of flashlights from support force members. The team is linked together in a single file by safety ropes to prevent anyone from getting separated. Smart. Caves grow more expansive as they go deeper. Eliminate several corrupted and continue slowly, relying only on a map from the mine's administrators. Bridget? Yeah? Rulin? Here. Trojan? Trojan? Present. Charlie's signature lazy voice finally comes through after several calls. Underground communications are unstable, so they rely on calling each other to make sure no one falls behind. I smell blood. Over here. Searchlight finds no survivors, only grotesque bloodstains that silently testify to the tragedy that had unfolded here. These marks don't look like the work of a corrupted. One crouches down to examine the fresh bloodstains more closely. These are blood splatter from impact, gunshot wounds, and over here, drag marks. Someone moved the bodies. I knew something was off about this place. Can you tell which way they went? Fresh blood might mean there are survivors. That way. They all dashed forward, following Rilla's direction. But why move them, though? Well, I guess to show that there's no... Oh, no, maybe it's by how they got their injuries. That's what's important, right? Because if it was just like natural causes or something, there's like having bodies, it wouldn't matter. But you could identify what caused it. You could surmise what incident befell them. Like, at least from the wound, right? Because depending on how it was, like, if it's just something beyond what was needed to kill someone, you would think, oh, corrupted, just going wild and attacking recklessly. But if it's like, it's a spot like to kill someone, like maybe through the heart or the spinal cord or stuff like that, it's like it was with intent to kill, meaning it would have to be a person. Every 30 minutes pass. Scrolling slows down, so it's another roll call. Trojan? Kausik's voice rings through the deep dark tunnel, trailing to an unsettling hum. Trojan, report in. Have to cut your attendance points. Trojan! Kausik's voice module almost produces a shriek, but there's no answer. Trojan! Trojan's gone! What about the safety rope? Did she fall behind? The safety rope. The safety rope. The rustling sounds fill the air as they fumble in the dark, filling at the safety rope. The safety rope. It's been cut! Turn on the searchlights. Searchlights that were dimmed to save energy suddenly flared full power, leaving the ground in light. There were traces of vital fluid. Trojan! Did she? That's impossible. Everyone stay calm. Sector Trojan is a seasoned fighter. No one can take her down without making any noise. Something's not right. I'd like to request permission to head back to assist Trojan. Request denied. It's too dangerous and you're just a rookie. But for the squad, you'll be dead before you know it. I'll follow the fluorescent markers we left along the way and cross-check with the map. 20 minutes. Give me 20 minutes. If I can't find Trojan in 20 minutes, I'll regroup immediately. This is not a game. I'll go with Bridget. You? I may not be a good fighter, but I can track your trail and help Bridget catch back up with the squad. Don't make me regret this. 20 minutes. Only 20 minutes. You can't find her, catch up with us immediately. The vital fluid's probably fake, right? Like, probably just only, like, made a small cut to make it seem like it was a struggle. Meanwhile, George is moving effortlessly through the dark, craggy tunnel, not even using the portable lamp issued by support force. No matter how much he dreads working, duty calls. His getaway was moving up to always the suspicion among the squad. As for excuse for being in the lab, she could say she was kidnapped and fought her way out. They'd probably buy that, right? What did Bridget come looking for? Oh well, she won't be able to get past the authentication system and into the lab anyway. How rude. They just had to blow up my shortcut. She turned voice to collapse the shaft and takes a detour. She dusts off the control panel and activates the emergency power switch. Oh right, yes, because she has special permission from Norman Mining Corps. Probably from Teddy's brother. Authentication. Successful. Well, at least these half-wits make a backup power system that actually works. The door hidden behind a rock slowly opens, revealing a dimly lit corridor. Don't say I don't care about my old colleagues. I mean, Colonel paid good money for this. Besides, she steps over several lifeless bodies and presses onward. They already killed pretty much everyone here. What's the point of making me come back? Huh? Great noises come from a laboratory ahead. Oh, did I miss one? Wait! God damn it, it's me! She clicks her tongue in irritation, but keeps the gun trained on high. Why are you still here? This Colonel bastard started spraying bullets the moment they got in. Luckily, I was quick enough to dodge back there. Oh, no, wait, right, yeah, because Trojan is supposed to be a spy for Colonel. Right. I guess by this point she hasn't really focused on, like, who she's really aligned with. Quick, get me out of here. I have all the data of the code polymers with me. Come with me. I promise. Whatever I get, you'll get your share. Hey! Backwards from the Trojan's gun barrels, Hyde clutches his bloody shoulder and shock. That's your best offer for your life? Besides, why should I trust you? Maybe this is an opportunity from God. I never thought I'd get this lucky when I took this mission. Trojan! Foul rat. If it were for me, you'd have fucking rotted in that pile of corpses. Perhaps. Though I may have preferred that. It's inevitable and he was once more at Hyde's hand. You can't kill me! Your frame! I modified your frame. If I die, you won't get away with it either. How can you still be so clueless? Living or dead makes no difference to me. I live, only to receive pointless missions like this. Tev, you rip apart, modify and experiment on my frame. Maybe death is the sensible choice. So, die here with me. The corners of her mouth twitch into a chilling smile. You can't! Trojan, what are you doing? Before the gunshot sounds, heavy footsteps echo from the hallway. Shit, these ignorant idiots. How'd they blow a hole over there? Blinding lights flooded. This lab only had one entrance. So in one way Bridger could have bypassed the authentication system. Colonel soldiers must have accidentally blasted open a new path. Lower your weapon. Trojan, who is this? Why are you pointing your gun at him? His face pisses me off. By the way, are you sure you want to point your gun at me? I am your instructor. Bridger finds herself moving her gun away from behind despite what she says. She can't let Babylonia know about her real identity just yet. Oh, are you the rescue team for Babylonia? Oh, thank goodness! I'm just a researcher from Norman here to study the Tantalum ore. Cries out as if he's found salvation. Shut up. Are you really just a researcher? And sitting slumped on the ground, darts his eyes back and forth. He was around all over his face. Of course! These are my identification documents. He fumbles to fish out his access card and ID badge. You don't strike me as just a researcher. And you're just a researcher. How do you explain all the bodies outside? That's... The constructs did it. They went haywire for the punishing virus. I had nothing to do with it. Oh, right. Can't leak about Kuro now. Nothing to do with it? Then why were you acting so strange? Ah, she's trying to make it seem like he went AWOL. Could it be that you're the mastermind behind all this? Wouldn't surprise me one bit. She just smiles, pressing across Joseph's face as she emphasized the word mastermind. Yep, she's good. What are you saying? I understand why you might think I did it, but... Alright, because like, who do you really trust in this situation? That is the thing. Damn, Trojan really is good at this double agent shit. These two seem to be putting on some kind of show. They really just run into each other? Right, because they both can't risk letting their identity as being a Kurano agents be out in the open. They'd be dead once they leave here. Regardless of who this person is or what he did, Support Force doesn't have the authority to execute anyone. Instructor Trojan, you're violating Support Force protocols. She can't quite grasp what's going on, nor can she determine who's lying based on their brief exchange. The best solution is to bring them both back to Babylonia and let the experts find the truth. Instructor Trojan, hand your weapon over to Roland. Here. Casey tosses his sidearm to the ground. She probably isn't ever, right? Things couldn't possibly get any worse than this. Mission failed, Hyde's still alive, and now Bridget's found him. There's only one solution. She could set off the bombs beneath the lab and blow everyone to bits. That would tie up all loose ends. But they've done nothing wrong. Turning her fury and decision, Georgia steps back with a sigh. Okay. Didn't get anything too crazy. Yeah, I figured it wasn't actually going to be like 5% each. Well, actually, I guess it kind of is because I'm at 19%. I'm like 4 down. but I might not reach halfway. If I can at least hit 40%, that'd be great. Scares a light. There's someone over there. The bullet travels much faster than the sound of the shot and grazes hide, even though Bridget rushes in to shield him. There were footsteps that go through the tunnel. Bridget gives chase, but the attacker is clearly more familiar with these dark passages and moves through them with ease. Bridget pushed you just in time. It's just a scratch. But quickly she tied a new wound. Hunting down a science researcher? What could they possibly want? Are you really just a Norman researcher? Why are all the attacks after you? What else is really down here in these mines? Are they really just tantalum research labs? Yeah, true, because if they no, I guess that's the point, right? Because, again, they could try to neutralize the support force constructs with, like, explosives. But then again, that may not be good because they still have to work here, right? Because the Constantine mines are still their source of not only tantalum, but whatever they're also doing down here alongside that. Not to mention, if support force constructs die to an explosion or something like that, it would bring into question, is it really punishing that's killing people off in the Constantine mines? Because then Babylonia would probably have to interfere, right? Because they'd be like, wait a minute, this couldn't have possibly been a punishing. They can't do these kinds of things, even if constructs were turned into them. Then think maybe it was an organization getting involved. She grows suspicious of the frequent attacks in an increasingly baffling situation. She even starts to wonder, the attempts on this researcher's life have anything to do with her parents' death? You said you started researching at the Constantine mines for Norman many years ago. Do you know anything about the last few mining tunnel collapses? Were they really just accidents? She trains her eyes on the wary man behind before, searching his expression for any hints. I don't know anything. I'm just a researcher. His eyes dart back and forth as he desperately tries to come up with an answer Bridget wants to hear. The collapses, some of them were incidents, but others were... They were for... I carefully glanced at a Trojan, so worried that Trojan might have said anything against them. Trojan's leaning on a wall with her arms crossed. She ignores Hyde and lets out a dismissive snort. To deal with certain other things. As you know, the tantalum copolymer research eventually involves exposure to the punishing virus. Sometimes there are unexpected byproducts of our research that gets infected with the virus. We had no choice but to dispose of them on site. They're all mechanoids and animals. We'd never conduct illegal experiments. We're just researchers. We don't have that kind of authority. No one even asked that you did illegal experiments. I'm not too familiar with the other labs, but maybe some of the tunnels collapse because they need to dispose of their unexpected byproducts? What about the rescue team that came in? What happened to them? Bridget tries to stay calm as she scuds ahead. With a trembling voice, but she's worried for the rescuer's fate. The rescue team. Oh, yes, the rescue team. Some of them made it out safely, but others were mildly infected by the punishing virus during the rescue operation. We put them in lower level labs for treatment. This is Norman Mining Corp's property, after all. We certainly can't tarnish their reputation. We'll make sure to receive proper treatment before sending them back up. You know how things are, with the infection and the pathetic shortage of serum out there. Sending them up now would be sending them to their deaths. For now, stuck a nerve with Bridget, Head begins to ramble on. So, we just need to get out of here first. Yes, we need to get out quickly. Once we're out, I'll draw you a detailed map. The lab is very well hidden. They don't give you my access card so you can come back down to rescue those people. You spent so long in hell. You can't even lie like a human anymore. Trojan? Trojan's muttering is barely a whisper, but Bridget's keen ears catch every syllable. Think what you will, Bridget. But for now, at least, I'm not your enemy. She doesn't intend to explain herself, yet she holds no ill will toward Bridget. I sure hope so. Bridget Its mind is in chaos due to a string of incidents and now the strange lead about her parents' disappearance. She notices the gaps in Hyde's story, but her mind keeps trying to patch over these holes to have something to hold on to. What should she do? Is Hyde telling the truth? Should she trust Hyde or Trojan? As an instructor in support force, Trojan may not have had the best attendance. Outside of this incident, she really seems to be a decent person. But why would a decent person point their gun at a researcher? That researcher Hyde, he seems normal enough, but something about the way he acts is deeply unsettling. Is he really just an innocent researcher? Or is he being hunted because he knows something he shouldn't? Trojan says she isn't my enemy, so then who is the real enemy? The bullet whistles through the air. It's another attempt on Hyde's life. This won't do. They're probably using secret paths not on our map. We won't be able to catch them like this. Quickly makes a decision. Rulin, how far are we from the main support force squad? Based on the markers and traces I found, we're about 10 minutes away. There could be more obstacles, so I can only give you a rough estimate, but I know we're on the right track. What about climbing back to the surface? If we can make it up there directly, we could get reinforcements. Given the current tunnel conditions, it would take at least 10 minutes to get back up, but I can't give you a better estimate. We should prioritize regrouping with our squad. With all our members, we shouldn't have any problem protecting one researcher. Rulin, take the lead and guide us. Trojan, stay right behind her. She intentionally places Hyde behind Trojan. She doesn't want to take any risks without knowing the true nature of their relationship. A consort can easily kill an ordinary researcher with bare hands. She cannot keep a clear head when it comes to her parents. If she can't trust herself to make the right decision, she'll leave it to someone more capable. Smart. Because again, then it'll be based on their actions, not her actions, as to what happens next. For now, our responsibility is to ensure everyone's safety. First by regrouping with support force, then escorting them back to Babylonia. I mean, to be fair, Bridget is still making very good and rational decisions. She's not letting all of her emotions, like, cloud her judgment. She's thinking, okay, right now, we can survive. If we can survive, we can get the intel. Especially since it'd still be behind closed doors and not out in the open, considering it would just still be taking place here in the Constantine mine. And then they can figure out what to do after that. And again, their chance of survival, considering that there seem to be a lot of attackers that they can continue an attack like this while there are other constructs nearby. And they have to be very skilled to be able to always be able to target him without having to accidentally attempt to shoot the other targets. I can't tell you're being careful or careless. You're not worried I might attack Rulin? You won't. Bridget clears her hand, steps become lighter. If you actually try to kill Hyde only because you couldn't stand him, you have no reason to do that to Rulin. You think so? You're that certain? You won't hurt Rulin. I'm sure of it. The red construct falls into silence. They march in silence as Rulin diligently scouts ahead. The markers up by their teammates indicate there's a bridge here. But its rocks tumble at the bottomless pit. There's nothing but an empty void in front of them. The connecting tunnel ahead is gone. Must be the assassins. Let me see the map. Map unfolds on the terminal, revealing a network of snaky mining tunnels. This path should get us over this area here. Let's go this way. Hurry up. They move as fast as they can, but the shadows lurking in the dark continue to have the upper hand. Following the map, they find a wobbly cable bridge. The ancient structure looks like it hasn't been touched for years. I'll scout ahead. Once we cross this, we can rendezvous with support force. She inches onto the bridge with careful steps. Thankfully, Norman Mining Corp was willing to spend its fortune on high-quality materials. Despite use and neglect, the bridge can still support at least 2 people. Trojan and Hyde step on the bridge one after another. When they reach the middle, disaster strikes. A bomb flies out and strikes the middle of the bridge. Trojan! Somebody help! Please! Help me! As the explosion rocks the ground, smoke clears all that remains of the suspension bridge as a single cable dangling from the protruding beam. clicking desperately to one end of the cable while Trojan hangs on the other. Damn, a real typo situation. Rulin? Rulin! Save your breath. She's been knocked out. She was dumb enough to lunge in to pull me away from the explosion and got hit by falling rocks. She won't be waking up anytime soon. The cable sways, creaking under the strain. Explosions clearly damaged the aging metal. Now this is fucking ironic. It's like we're on the scales of justice. Darn it. Why am I always the one being weighed? When will I be the one holding the cards? Trojan, hold on! First, check the survivor's conditions. Hide? Good. He's still shot. Should be fine for now. Trojan looks a bit down, but that's just Trojan. She knows its vital signs. She's alive. Next, figure out how to get Trojan to hide down from this cave. Stop your wishful thinking, Bridget. You can only save one of us. Stretch your things about to snap. I'm not your enemy. Leave Hyde. He's... Help me, please! I know where the rescue workers are. I'm an expert in tantalum copolymers. I could be useful. I don't want to die. My research isn't finished yet. I can't die here. Shut it. I never make that kind of choice, Trojan. What if he was the one who murdered your parents? I didn't. It wasn't me. If he's the real murderer, he'll get his judgment after we get him. Neither support force nor rescue workers have the right to execute criminals. Support force and rescue workers share one mission: to hold on to every spark of hope. Wow. Fixes a grappling hook firmly onto a rock and tugs on it twice before leaping with all her might onto the beam. Just closing in, but at this point, Georgia cannot let Hyde get out of here alive for both personal and professional reasons. I'm sorry, Bridget. I really like you. We met earlier, maybe we could have been good friends. What are you... Hyde, give me your hand. Trojan is a construct, so she should still be able to move. Bridget plans to secure Hyde to a safety rope first, so she can use him as leverage to pull Trojan back to safety using the momentum. Bullard was a past work Bridget's ear hits Hyde just as he's about to reach out with frantic joy. Bridget whips her head around to see that Trojan's let go of the cable to fire at Hyde. Trojan follows, she whisks goodbye to Bridget. No! She cannot understand Trojan's actions, still wants to uphold the duty of a rescue worker as a board force member. Never give up on any hope. If her leg thrust is at maximum power, Bridget grabs Trojan's clothes and hurls Trojan with all her might, the only stable looking platform into the positive mine shaft. Damn. Coincidence. You've been in more dangerous situations, but Bridget's vivid recounts of how Trojan fell off the cliff and how she barely managed to hang on to the edge still make your heart race. Is that why you took on this mission to Constantine again? Yeah, of course. When I regained consciousness, I was already back with support force. Wait, so I'm just listening to her regale her glory in the past? Wow. I mean, I can definitely see her as like an older sister figure, considering how, thoughtful she is in everything she does. Support force was also ambushed by these unknown assailants. When the squad detected life signals and approached for rescue, the tunnel collapsed. The punishing concentration spiked, and a pack of corrupted appeared. Something's off. Yeah, it spiked. The punishing virus suddenly appeared at the bottom of the shaft that had never seen an outbreak before. Now that I think about it, that mission was full of baffling information gaps. Why was support force suddenly deployed? Was it really just for rescue and scouting? Ah, I see. It was to give Trojan cover and permission to be there to eliminate the targets. Yeah, because otherwise they'd be like, hey, why are you here if you're not assigned here? Right? Make it seem like a rescue mission, but make an assassination and be like, oh no, that happened. And again, it's like, is it really that the punishing is there, or are they manipulating the punishing to an extent that they can make it like increase or decrease, but nothing else. And even then, if they actually did find a way to control it, it would also harm those people stuck there, therefore keeping everything a secret still. Ooh, that'd be something. Or could there be something else? Something they were trying to cover up? What did the mission report say exactly? The mission report said, a tantalum mining laboratory contracted by Norman Mining Corp conducted illegal experiments using tantalum ore, leading to the infection of some constructs and staff and an explosion, causing the mine to collapse. And that's the conclusion? A construct storms into the Sport Force office, clutching a stack of reports. What really happened to Trojan? What does memory loss due to mind damage mean? What about that researcher? Trojan, it's complicated. She's been transferred to another department. We no longer have the authority to inquire about her case. Oh, I see. So we need to get a general idea because now we're tackling this now in the present. Alright, I like it. Again, a flashback, but a useful flashback in the beginning so that we actually have context now and not just in the middle of the situation. Finally, something that's not like One Piece's terrible ways of bringing flashbacks. That researcher fell down the shaft. We didn't have the resources for a rescue operation from that height. They did a basic depth survey of the mining shaft. The conclusion was that not even a construct could survive a fall like that. If Bridget hadn't thrown Trojan onto the safety platform at that moment, Trojan wouldn't have survived either. And what about Rulin? Why was she transferred to task force before I even got to see her? Oh, she was. And before she could even check on her? But it's not like she saw anything either, right? Oh, Rulin. She actually requested to transfer herself. It's what she wanted, you know. She's been trying to join Jeffrey's team for a long time. Jeffrey's the commander of Silkworm. I checked the rules. Don't try to fool me. The transfer from support force to a task force squad, you need at least 3 months of screening or more, plus a joint investigation. I was the captain of Rulin's squad during her training. Why wasn't I sent any investigation reports on this? Don't overthink it, Bridget. Helpless sighed, the captain walks out from behind the desk and past Bridget's shoulder. Not every story needs to end with the end. But this isn't some story. She watched helplessly as they plummeted into the bottomless mine shaft. In any case, don't bring this matter up again, Bridget. Some things are beyond what we can do. Maybe they just didn't want to bring them back together again, right? Because then they would have like more conclusive evidence, be able to think about it more, considering they were the ones there. Or maybe Roland actually did see something, but it's like it's not reliable or a strong enough testimony that it would actually bother those who were trying to keep Hyde quiet. That's all. That's all. Later, the support force's casualty rate is slightly lower than task forces. Numbers are still horrifyingly high. During a rescue mission, the captain never returned from the ruins after saving 2 children. Bridget gradually rose through the ranks with her outstanding performance and became the captain of the support force. After taking over the team, I tried to reopen the investigation into that incident. But most of the documents about the Constantine mine were confidential, and even the detailed mission records and investigation reports were lost in an incident. What a convenient coincidence. Yeah, it's just that convenient. And you probably know what happened after that. After Trojan's mind was damaged, she was in recovery for a long time before being reassigned to a new squad, only to vanish without a trace. At least a squad, or Isla's squad. Rulin, you know where to? Yeah. She follows Jeffrey's silhouette and vanishes into the dark expanse of the red tide. Oh! That's right! Oh my god. Yeah, because there was someone talking about, like, following their commandant when the red tide incident happened. Oh my god, that was her? No way. Talk about a callback again. dude, this game does a really good job of reaffirming these callbacks. Like how even these background characters can have like a part in all of this. So like maybe that was the other thing, right? Like by having her in a task force, there was a chance that she would just die in battle compared to like if she stayed longer to support force, where they probably would have found more ways to like investigate the Constantine mine. Plus, it would have been another voice alongside Bridget to reopen the case. And I guess it did work out for them because in the end, she fell with Jeffrey's squad back then, when the red tie started becoming a real issue. I mean, not like it's over, but back then when it was really active. Maybe this is a kind of liberation for her. Everything just seems a little too convenient. Every support force member involved in the Constantine mine mission has either been reassigned or lost their lives in action. Everyone except me. Yeah, that is true, but that's the other thing. Why is Bridget being left alone? If I had to guess, the only thing I can think of is because she's already too connected to the Constantine mines incident. What with her parents and everything, if something happened to her, it would definitely reaffirm that they're getting rid of all of that. But if people are being assigned to different groups and then they're having issues where they disappear or go missing, you'd be like, that wouldn't be enough to state that, because other things could technically still be called uncontrollable forces, but there could still be human involvement with that kind of stuff, like not saving the other constructs and commandants who were stuck on Earth when the red tide had peaked. There has to be more to this than what I know. Brother Construct gazes out the window. Brilliant sunlight paints a pristine cloudless sky. I've always believed, as long as the truth is still out there, one day darkness will be dispelled by the light. They all say I sound like a fool when I say this, but I know this is true. That day will come. I'm sure of it. Yeah, I knew this day would come eventually. The terminal emits a short beep. Must be the mission details. I also got mine. Perfect timing. I've pretty much gotten used to this new frame. Bridget does along with lazy stretch. This feels great. The power system's been enhanced and the overall controls are much better. Door creaks loudly as someone intentionally pushes it really hard instead of ringing the doorbell. Grey Raven Commandant, I was told to look for you here. The blue construct appears before Bridget with the air of casual nonchalance after so many years. She seems so different now, yet still the same in many ways. Oh, and you must be... Bridget, support force captain. Hello, Bridget. I'm Trojan. The blue construct puts on a practiced fake smile that Bridget knows all too well. By the way, do you have absolutely no memory of me? Do I know you? Trojan turns around and gives Bridget a rather impolite once-over. I don't believe I've ever met you. The construct does a little shrug. Sorry, I had some issues with my mind and lost a lot of my memories. Anyway, since I'm representing Norman Mining Corp for this mission, whatever happened in the past, I'm not your enemy. Anyway, here to let you know it's time for assembly. We should get going. Everyone's already standing by at the departure point. Apparently we'll have another briefing. Why do we need so many meetings? Despite Church's reluctance, the pre-mission briefing must go ahead as planned. So the commandant's actually taking part in this. Very interesting. Wait, why is the commandant back in this shit again? Come on, man. When will I ever get a vacation? Or maybe I am having some vacation, but those don't count if I'm in a hospital bed. 3D hologram of the mine shaft hovers in the middle of the conference room. It's more like an inverted tower than a typical building. Oh no, let me guess. Kurano is gonna be like, eliminate the commandant while in the mine and just make it seem like that Punishing got him without his Grey Raven team together. Right? And maybe try to take out Bridget in the ensuing chaos, so then they're like, oh, we just lost two amazing people just to Punishing just when it spiked even more. Oh well. The operation's participants gather on one side of the hologram as Celica briefs everyone on the mission. During the brief window when the data wall was breached, the Science Council managed to intercept a portion of the information. While most of the data is still being processed, this particular section specifically mentions tantalum copolymers. Ah, that again. The basic concept involves using an alternative method chain as a medium for connection, with tantalum serving as the skeletal structure. By linking it to another branch to form a copolymer, they aim to expand the compatibility range of tantalum 193. The primary objective of this mission is to enter the Constantine mine and retrieve as much of the experimental data as possible. Wait, is that what the research was? Because he said he finally had the copolymer research, and that he needed to get it out. Is it something that's like you find only in certain parts of the Constantine mine? It's like maybe Norman Mining Corps or Curran or whoever's involved. It's like they're trying to hoard it for themselves, right? And maybe they're contracting one side or the other to eliminate them, so then it doesn't look like they're keeping those secrets temporarily or only putting them, or like finding them. And it's like, why aren't we getting them? It's like maybe they're selling it to the black market or something. Why the Constantine mine? Babylonians dug out records of resource flow from that time. While there's no definitive evidence, we can reasonably deduce that a laboratory might have been conducting tantalum research in this area. And the most likely location is the Constantine mining site. Combined with the information voluntarily provided by Norman Mining Corps, we're now confident in our deduction. So, is their technology mature enough? That's impossible to determine at this point. Only a handful of encrypted documents mention that they achieved some experimental results, but none of them clearly specify the nature of these achievements. Or maybe we'll find Hyde's body in his research. Maybe they'll still be down there that we can actually check out, now that we have permission to go. Therefore, your other objective is to investigate and clear out any abnormalities in the mining site. Until the Science Council figures out how to conjure tantalum ore out of thin air, we need raw tantalum for copolymer synthesis. Raw tantalum? Yes. Babylonia's tantalum reserves are limited, and no large deposits have been discovered in any of our current conservation areas. Instead of risking exploration elsewhere, we should focus on reclaiming the Constantine mining site. Norman Mining Corps will provide us structural data for the Constantine mining site. We'll send some of our researchers to assist you. What about the data from the underground laboratory? That data was lost during the transfer process. Oh, really? I have no reason to deceive you. Norman Mining Corps also wishes to reclaim this site. I'll offer all the files, including investigation records of all the mine collapses, as well as Butler Skyke's final video recording before his death in the mine shaft. Butler? Norman Mining Corps had decided to withdraw their investment since the research facility hadn't submitted any new findings for a long time. Given the grandiose situation, my grandfather sent his most trusted butler to handle the negotiation. Everything was going smoothly until Skyke sent an unexpected message, claiming they had achieved new research breakthroughs and requesting additional funds. Before the corporation could dispatch a new investigation team, the mine collapsed. Skyke perished and left no remains behind. As for the rest, including your parents, Miss Bridget, we initiated a follow-up rescue and investigation. However, more sites collapsed, and Norman Mining Corps lacked the capability at the time to deal with the vast numbers of corrupted, and to properly address the situation. I offer you my deepest apologies. Victoria steps out from behind her desk and bows deeply to Bridget. His sudden frank apology from Norman Mining Corps' hand leaves Bridget dumbfounded. Skyke raised me. He was loyal to Norman Mining Corps even at his death. If you find his remains during your mission, please bring him back. Norman Mining Corps will offer a handsome reward for your work. That's all the information I have access to regarding the Constantine mine at my current clearance level. So is this before or after Teddy's chapter? Because I feel like it would have to be after, right? Because then she would be in charge, because it should be her grandfather in charge, right? But I guess with him gone and no longer part of the situation, she would be the next head, I think. Damn it, I wish I knew. Actually, I'm gonna check real quick. Can I actually check here? Oh, right, it's an infinite loop. Just want to see. If it isn't, it's fine, but... Okay, no. Snared would be there. Oh, okay, this finally opened up now. Neat. What about if I enter 800 Forge? Okay, no, not that either. What about after Stars and Snared? Oh! Okay, no, yeah, it is. It is after the events with Teddy. No, right, yeah, because it would also be the events after Luna, because after we did the thing with Teddy, we had like a massive situation over at Babylonia when we tried to open Dominic's records or something like that. And then it led to all of this, and then we had to team up with Luna. Right. With our confrontation with Cradle. I see. So that's where we are in the timeline. Oh, and that's taking place during the Infinite Loop. So again, does that mean that never actually happened? Well, then again, I guess most of that would have already still happened nonetheless in our timeline, only from like... whatever. I guess it doesn't really matter if it did or didn't. I guess it would still possibly be a part of it. But okay, at least I know where in the timeline we're at right now. Airport. Alright, one last time, recite support force mandate. Officially manage on-field duties. Ensure precise coordination, targeted support, and timely assistance. Hold on to every spark of hope no matter how small. Excellent. Now go. Victory will always be ours. Squad members dispersed in all directions, each heading to their assigned missions. Bridget. Hey Xanthos, Lucia. Oh, Lucia's on a mission. Yes, let's go. Finally. I feel like it's been a while since I've been on a mission with her. Lee and Liv not coming? Noah's frame is due for scheduled maintenance, and Lee's on another mission. You Grey Raven folks sure know how to keep yourselves busy. By the way, it's our first official collaboration, right? Excluding all the times we helped each other out. Yep. Santos, Lucia, here's to our first official mission together. Looking forward to working with you. I'm certain we'll work well together. Yeah, actually, now that I think about it, yeah, this is actually our first collaboration. Because true, every other time it's like she's just been giving us assistance when we've needed reinforcements. But still, finally a mission with Lucia again, man. It still hurts every time after the whole thing we're in the Infinite Loop section. That will still hurt me. This mission involves Norman Mining Corps. How are their preparations coming along? They're already here. Look, over there. Norman Mining Corps delivers their promised supplies right on schedule. If you must have glasses, gives orders as they sort and loaded supplies into the transport aircraft. Maybe that's why we actually had the Grey Raven Commander with us now, right? Because now it's like there's less people being able to hold that secret together. Because again, maybe it's like Teddy's grandfather was in on this, and he had hired Kurino to like make sure to keep it a secret that way by eliminating anyone who would spread that information. So maybe because of that, it's like now this is our best chance of uncovering the truth. Because also, this would be a point now where Kurino still can't really do as much out in the open because of all their involvements with like with the Ascendants and everything starting to become uncovered one after another. As usual, Trooper stands by the transport aircraft with her arms crossed, lost in thought. Female staff turns to notice the group standing nearby. Hello, I'm Anji, the coordinator for this operation and head of the Norman Tantalum Research Division. That's Trojan, a security consultant responsible for the safety of Norman Mining Corps researchers. Hello, no need for that. I've heard all about you. Let's get to work. Turns around and checks the terminal. I need to go back to sorting resources. Please follow the agreed plan and meet us at the designated time. Why so serious? Well, it's rare to see someone from Support Force being this serious. So, are your backup supplies ready? Commandants and my backup supplies are all set. It's almost time. Let's head out. Since Babylonians pinpointed the location of Constantine Town, finding the still intact Constantine mine is proved to be no challenge. Oh no, right, yeah. I guess it also would take place now because now we dealt with most of the issues regarding the Red Tide by this point. Although not completely clearing it because Kratos still exists, but at least enough to where it shouldn't deter us from completing the assignment and taking back the mine. Howling winds swoop through the abandoned town, now nothing but a hollow void. I used to make a living here driving public transport. When are my old heavy-duty vehicles still around? Whoa, boss! Is this where you used to live? Yep, I lived here before the punishing outbreak, but I was so small back then, so I can't remember much. At the time, Norman Mining Co. quickly built a central purification filter here to protect the tantalum mines. That's why the virus concentration in this area was always within safe levels. Oh, I see. So it's like, if that was... Okay, that makes it even more interesting. Yeah, because if there are filters here, even if it doesn't like reach all the way to the depths of the mines, it is surprising that it would just spike like that. Especially with the filter present. Because again, this still would have been long before the situation with the twins and the Red Tide actually creeping up on the world. By the time I was old enough to remember things, my parents were already working as rescue workers in the surrounding areas. Your mom must be a real beauty. Shut it. So does this mean the central purification filter can be reactivated once it's fixed? In theory, yes. That should make things much easier. Bitch continues her explanation as the small town gradually comes into view. Strange rocks dot the surrounding wasteland while whirling sand and dust spiral in the air. Sturdy city gates stand guard as its humble residents work tirelessly to rescue survivors for the surrounding disaster zones. The only regret is that there's hardly any food here. Nowhere near enough to sustain us. Thankfully, I have my trusty heavy-duty vehicle. That one's a beast. I reinforced the front bumper so your average corruptor wouldn't stand a chance against it. We're almost there. Aunt G, who's been quiet this whole time, suddenly speaks up. Crumbling buildings are still standing gradually thin out. Further ahead, a cluster of single-story buildings come into view. This is it. We're here. The Constantine mine. The main building of the mine is surprisingly modest in size, not nearly as towering as you imagined. Most of the complicated structures are underground, but the original mine entrance is collapsed. It takes station personnel at least 3 days to clear it out. According to the corporation's original blueprints, there should be another mine entrance over here that hasn't collapsed. Always good to have a backup plan. But just sneers at the idea of having multiple entrances all over the place, Aunt G cuts her off with a cold retort. This is efficient resource management. Aunt G's authorization chip activates the dirt-covered hidden control panel. So it does, the billows from the mine shaft, bringing with it the musty smell of decay. Support force will split into 2 teams. I'll lead one with Trojan and will be entering this way. Los Santos and Lucia will be the other team and coordinate with Anji to investigate from the other way. Let's stay in touch so we can all ask for help immediately if anything comes up. And when we're done, we'll rendezvous here, in the main hall inside the mine. Just like before. Copy that. Alright, let's get the show on the road. She takes one last focused look at the mine entrance. It's been years since she last set foot in this abyss. What will we find this time, though? Now I'm interested.
私たち支援部隊が先陣を切ります。あなたはノルマンの研究員たちと共に私たちがあらかじめ確保したルートに沿って進んでください。
了解。それなら通信は接続したままにしておく。
それでは作戦開始。どうしてここに研究員の死体が？前に行動に入った時、この辺りには誰もいなかったはず。それにこの傷跡、致命傷は鈍器によるものだろうけど、足に重創がある。
致命傷以外にも傷跡が？裏に何かありそうね。
進みましょう。他にも何かあるかもしれません。
Maybe poisoning? Maybe they thought that they couldn't make it out of punishing in time by shooting them to slow them down? So that would affect them when trying to escape? Very interesting. Wait, where the fuck am I going? Am I supposed to go here? Oh, control panel. Duh. I bet. Ooh, a ladder. Why is this here? Oh boy.
ここは私が食い止める。大丈夫、かすり傷。ここは私。これは最終警告。前方注意、会議して。前方注意、会議。大丈夫、かすり傷。前方注意、会議して。ここは私が食い止める。
Damn, now we're finally back to another mystery. Cool. Because at least the other one wasn't really that much of like a mystery. Or I guess it kind of was, but this one's... Last one was definitely more of a just action one. Especially since considering it was not this.
このエレベーターはまだ動くかも。
I could give it a shot. What do I have to lose?
停電しただけで回路を接続し直せば動き
Oh,
そうで
right,
す。
gotta use my mouse this time. Wait, what? How in the heck? What do you mean? Oh my god. Bro, how the fuck am I supposed to move this thing? Oh my god. Let's see, what the fuck? Trying to see if I click it. No. What the heck? What am I supposed to do here? Oh, don't tell me I'm actually gonna be stuck here. I've had enough of this bullshit last time. When was that I had this issue? I think it was like number 21's mission, I think. Yeah, because I can't move this. Eh, boy, okay, I'm gonna have to figure something out, aren't I? Damn it. How do I leave again? Is it Alt F4? There we go. Okay, yeah, it was. Good. Good thing I still remember. Otherwise, it would be a bitch to handle. Sissy, how the fuck am I supposed to get through this shit again? This is gonna be a pain in the ass, I know it. Alright, at least I can enter through here again. But I have to start the whole mission over again, don't I? Motherfucker. Alright, give me a sec. Seriously, why can't it just leave the floating record on what I'm currently doing? It would make things so much easier for me. Alright, so just skip all this. Yes, please.
私たち支援
Yeah, yeah.
と
Yeah, skip this. Oh no, right, other door. My bad.
このエレベーターはまだ動くかも。停電しただけで回路を接続し直せば動きそうです。
Dude, seriously, what the hell am I supposed to do? It's stuck. This is fucking ridiculous. How in the heck am I supposed to choose where goes where? It doesn't even allow me the option. Seriously, what the fuck is with this shit? Oh my god, I'm gonna have to do the same thing, aren't I? I'm probably gonna have to go through it on my phone again. God damn it, I had to do the same thing back then. It was annoying to deal with. Alright, give me a couple minutes. I'll try to make my way through, because I had to deal with this shit last time, and I couldn't do anything about it. So give me a second, I'll be right back. Give me like 5-10 minutes at the most. Alright, I'm back. Sorry about that. Alright, so I went through the whole thing, and yeah, my suspicions were right. They did try to make it look like corrupted were the ones that ended the lives of the researchers here, because even though they have lethal wounds, like shots to the heart or the head, there's still like a lot of knife marks that make it seem like amateurish, trying to make it seem like the corrupted did. And also Anji and the other people associated with her definitely seem to be nervous at some points and then trying to play nonchalant at others as if they knew they'd be finding the body. And again, it's like, there shouldn't have been people here, but their bodies are researchers. So yeah, we just told Bridget to keep an eye on Anji and her deputy for the meantime. So yeah, sorry about that. Actually, because I had to redo that fight again and everything. Yeah, I don't know why I have this issue here sometimes with the game. Like, you think by this point it's like I wouldn't run into this issue anymore, but it's like, nah, it's back. But at least it doesn't nearly happen as often, so I'll take what I can get. Second incident strikes sooner than anyone I expected. Shortly after the rested scouts dispersed, a violent tremor rocks through the mine shaft. Deep rumbling and the sound of falling rocks echo from the path behind, spreading through every corner of the mine. Upon returning to the hall with the rest of the group, Bridget immediately stands out in the center of the gathered crowd. Her face is grim as she grips Anji, whose face bears a few scratches. Or fresh scratches. What's going on? The mine collapsed. We lost some members from the tunnel reinforcement team. Our way back is completely blocked, and we lost all communication with the outside. Anji and her deputy here would have met their doom if I hadn't acted fast enough. Bridget's news sent ripples of shock to the crowd, leading to hushed conversations and whispered exchanges. Quiet down, everyone. Let's stay calm. Let's hear what Bridget has to say first. Its murmurs gradually fade. Bridget remains quiet. Her eyes remain locked onto Anji, grip on Anji's hand still firm and unyielding. Bridget? It never even occurred to me that I should keep an eye on you until Xanthos told me to. Bridget opens her mouth and pauses to collect her thoughts. What, was she responsible for the cave-in? Anji, why did you and your deputies just stand there when the cave-in started? You clearly had enough time to make it back to us. Oh, they tried to lock themselves in, right? They probably hoped they'd be on the other side to clear up anything behind that they would have found. Maybe. Bridget? Lucia steps between them and past Bridget's shoulders. Anji seizes his chance to break free from Bridget's grip. That was her head hiding her face while gently rubbing the spot where she was grabbed. I'm sorry. Everything happened so fast, and we never dealt with anything like this before. We panicked and froze up. We were too scared to move. I know why you came down here to the mine, but that doesn't mean you need to be suspicious of everything. I mean, you chose to come here. You shouldn't be scared of a little tunnel collapsing. Like, maybe you're running in a panic, that's one thing, but standing still? Nah. Bridget? I'm sorry. I lost my squad members who were trying to save these two. I'm just a bit... Bridget takes a deep breath and steps back. After a long moment, she finally regains her composure. Yes, there are things I want down here, and I have other motives besides the mission, but that will never cloud my judgment of what takes priority. If I've wronged you, rest assured that you'll get an apology. But Anji, if you're hiding something, fine. Just don't try anything sneaky again. I want you to understand, uncovering the truth about the past, or even completing this mission from Babylonia, none of it matters more than getting everyone back safely. Composing yourself in a few sentences, Bridget signals for the rest of the group to escort Anji and her deputy away. After briefing everyone on a few matters, Bridget dismisses the crowd. Sorry you had to see that, Santos. It's good to show emotion, especially in the military. As long as it doesn't interfere with what's at hand. I know. It just never occurred to me that they'd be so drastic. We confirmed that the collapse was caused by humans. We don't have definitive proof, but it's hard not to get suspicious when we've seen the corrupted we saw and all the cases we've experienced. We should plan for the worst case scenario. The real problem is we completely lost contact with the outside. We need to be prepared to set up camp here, possibly for an extended period. Setting up camp isn't an issue. This should come as a no-brainer for support force since they operate in dangerous zones year-round. But Norman's research team, probably not so much. I'll take care of that. Learning how to manage the mental state of rescued subjects is part of our basic training. And there's some good news. Cheryl found the mine's internal communication system. Both the transmitter and receiver still work. Once we secured stable communications in the lower mine, I plan to have our technical specialists work with Norman's research team to modify the communication equipment. We'll see if we can restore contact with Babylonia. That's good. Keeping them busy will stop them from overthinking. Lucia, please check on the condition of the other mine tunnels in the area. There might be a passage connecting to the outside that we haven't discovered yet. Copy that. At the muffled sound, a hammer leaves a dent at the conference room table. Soka flinches instinctively, unsure whether she's feeling more overwhelmed by the slam itself or the compensation for him she'll have to fill out later. Stay composed in times of crisis, Karenina. You need to keep your cool. Keep my cool? We're already on our third rescue proposal. You want me to keep my cool? When exactly is Babylonia planning to let the engineering force step in? Seriously, give Karenina respond the spotlight again. Come on. Trust me, we won't do anything rash. Engineering force will advance carefully from the outside, based on the mine's condition. Safety guaranteed. I trust you, but that's not the issue here. I know you're anxious, but please be patient. An hour will pass before you know it. It's been 5 hours since we last heard from Xanthos. Do we really have to wait the full 6 hours of radio silence before we're cleared to move? I understand how you feel, but applications take time. So do arrangements. Time is exactly what we don't have during times like this. Why do we... We can't confirm if this is just a communication issue or an actual incident. The mine itself is already a complicated environment, which is why it takes time. Rushing in might only complicate things further. I mean, Santos might have only moved out of the service area temporarily, right? Huh? Out of service area? Come on, Teddy. You've got to be kidding. Teddy ignores Karenina's irritation. Fingers dance across the keyboard. To press the final key, she swivels her chair to face Celica. Engineering force needs prep time anyway. If it turns out to be a false alarm, we can either clock out early or get a day off in return. What do you think? Celica hesitates at the payment notification on her terminal. The amount shown could cover 20 desk replacements and then some. But that's not the issue. This account is on the publicly disclosed list. Celica looks over at Wells. Sir? He moves his glasses and rubs the bridge of his nose, speaking with a resigned tone. Go ahead, but be discreet. Did you hear that? Be discreet. I haven't gotten the official approval yet, but I've already had the spaceport start its preparations. The same old place. Inspection of Engineering Force's exclusive transport ship should be done soon. Make it quick, alright? I knew I could count on you, Teddy. The thud of Karenina's hammer hitting the ground drowns out the rest of her words. Dashes out the door like a gust of wind, leaving behind 2 broken tiles and no trace of where she's gone. Looks like transferring those extra funds was pretty smart of me. So, I don't have to pay for the damaged floor now, right? Pulls Celica away as she tries to step forward. Then Lizzie bends down to pick up the hammer and floor fragments from the Karenina drum. I have a feeling you've seen far into the future. You knew the mine would collapse before it happened, didn't you? I'm a hacker, not a politician. I don't deal with conspiracies and speculation. Teddy shrugs and closes her operating system and sees a glance at a familiar portrait in her contact list just before the screen goes dark. I just figured that anything Norman's involved in is bound to go wrong somehow. It's practically a given. I mean, she's not wrong. If anything, that's the right attitude to have. Finally, her connections are paying off. Deep in the mine, main lobby. While the others busy themselves with setting up camp, Bridget leads Trojan to a secluded corner. So, pull me aside when something goes wrong. Am I on the suspect list now? Alcohol flavor electrolyte. That tastes like beer. Trojan takes the bottle of electrolytes from Bridget, puts it in her palm, and examines the packaging before handing it back. Forget it. We don't know how long we'll be stuck in this forsaken place. Better save supplies while we can. Bridget takes back the electrolytes with a conflicted expression. See Trojan's completely normal demeanor, even she usually straightforward, finds herself at a loss for words. Did we used to drink this together before? Huh? How did you know? You're easy to read, wherever you weren't trying to hide it. You asked to meet me alone not just because I belonged to Norman, but also because of the memories I lost to the mine trauma, no? Yep. Upon hearing this, Bridget lets her guard down and takes a seat next to Trojan. We were here back then too. Not in this tunnel, but in the same mine. Those words sent Trojan into a momentary daze, causing their visual and audio systems to fall slightly out of sync. Bridget? Yep. Rulin. Here. Trojan? Trojan. Trojan? Present. Bridget has to call Trojan's name several times before Trojan, lost in thought, finally responds. What's gotten into you? You were totally out of it just now. No, I guess I'm just a little exhausted. Face to face with those worried eyes, Trojan can't help but want to look away. Even though their words carry hidden intentions, the person before her still radiates warmth and friendliness. Knowing herself, Trojan can't seem to remember why she decided to take this job in the first place. Yellow is the new black, and she's been living by it. It's too bright. But I'll get uncomfortable. What did you say? Well, considering you gave me that drink earlier, I'll be honest with you. Norman did assign me to assist on G and report back with intel when possible. But it wasn't mandatory. They only brought it up as a formality. They explicitly told me I could take it or leave it. So, there's no so. One drink's worth exactly this much info. I told you all I'm willing to share. You want to know more, you gotta sit down for a talk with Anji yourself. If I were on her side, I could tell you now that you wouldn't be able to bring Anji back. That is, if she wanted to run. Without looking back, Trojan walks toward the crowd as she does a half-hearted wave in the air. I'm off, sunshine. Make sure you assign someone to keep an eye on little Anji. Okay. Underground tower. Deep in the mine. 3 days have passed as they lost contact with the outside world. They've gone from feeling tense to anxious. They're just feeling exhausted. Wait, how long? 3 days? Wow. Okay. Even Anji, who was initially under suspicion, seems affected. He's been remarkably well behaved for the last 3 days. Until... Holy, we got trouble. What's wrong? Anji's gone. We don't see her anywhere. And Scylla, too. She was guarding Anji, but we don't see her anywhere now, either. Where's Trojan? I'm right here. Just to be clear, I haven't received any orders from the organization in terms of helping Anji escape or anything like that. This wasn't entirely her personal decision. I had nothing to do with it. Trojan raises both her hands and mocks surrender. There are traces of vital fluid. The trail leads that way. Scattered traces of vital fluid trail off in the pitch black mine shaft. Angie and her deputy couldn't have slipped away so quietly on their own. Someone must have helped them. Cheryl, stay here with your team to guard the supplies. Set up patrol ships and start repairing the transmitter and receiver. Contact us immediately once communications are restored. Understood. Santos, Lucia, I need you both with me to track down Angie. If there's crossfire, I want them subdued immediately. And that includes you, Trojan. His eyes fixed on Trojan as she tries to slip away, her brow slightly furrowing. She enters the mine, stale mysteries and decaying dust assault her senses. The mounting questions leave her no time to dwell on her complicated history with her former instructor. What exactly is Trojan trying to do down here? I'm not your enemy. I told you this many times before. But I can't take that risk. Angie belongs to Norman Mining Corps, and so do you. I can't risk leaving you at the camp. It's not easy being the good guy, is it? Let's move out. We need to find them quickly. Judging by these vital fluid traces, I'm worried Scylla won't last much longer. But how'd they even do that if they were right here? Or no, I guess we were gathered to their spot. Of course, Colonel. That was almost too easy. You over there, researcher, what do you think you're doing? My assistant is injured and needs medical attention. Don't waste your time. That concert got him good. He won't last long anyway. You don't seriously expect to find a fully equipped medical bay in a place like this, do you? As a proud of their cruel joke, the two Colonel soldiers guffaw in unison. This wasn't part of our agreement. I made it clear that both my assistant and I needed to remain unharmed before I would help you with the recycling. Say, do you even know what's up? We finally managed to escape from Utopia in that madman's pursuit. Think we can enjoy some damn peace and quiet. If it weren't for the mess you people caused, we wouldn't be stuck in this godforsaken place. Utopia, right, the doctor, of course. Oh, so he's from there. Where at least his father worked. I see. I never forced you into anything. You volunteered. Who the fuck said we volunteered? Your professor proposed a data retrieval mission, and you negotiated the terms. But let me make one thing clear. The person you made that deal with isn't here anymore. Let's stop there. The Colonel soldier makes a show of cleaning his weapon menacingly before falling silent, turning to escort Angie forward. First to stumble forward while carrying a gravely wounded deputy on her back, Angie's mind begins to drift into a haze. She should be a rising star in Norman Mining Corps' research division, heading the Norman Tantalum Branch Laboratory, calculating data and exploring material properties. How'd she end up in this situation? Professor, the data you gave me is all verified now. How did you obtain these parameters? That's my little secret. I'm not gonna give it away. Was this from an experiment conducted long ago? For experimental foundations, it should be nearly impossible to obtain these parameters. Since you're so eager to know, here, take a look at these research notes. These notes contain years of dedication and effort. Truth be told, this is probably my proudest research achievement yet. The research notes are filled with meticulous data entries, ranging from studies on tantalum's properties to hypotheses about material enhancement. Finally, to various reactions these materials trigger in test subjects. G immerses herself in this paradise, treasuring every moment as if she's discovered an invaluable treasure. However, only half of the research notes are present. The crucial test subject reactions and subsequent research directions comes to an abrupt end at the notebook's conclusion. After starting a new project based on the notes, Angie rushes to find her professor, barely containing her excitement. Professor, I conducted multiple experiments based on the notes, but I can't replicate any of the values. Why is that? Well, that's because we're using different test subjects, of course. Different test subjects? The copolymer is meant to be used on humans at the end of the day, not lab rats. How can you possibly get the correct parameters by only experimenting on rats? She can't be sure if that really makes sense to her. She stares at her professor in confusion. The man before her suddenly seems like a stranger. Tell me, Anji, do you truly want to continue walking down this path of research with me? The professor, usually genial, now takes on an uncharacteristically serious tone. Oh, okay, so not that same one, but it's like this professor had made a deal with Kurano and the people connected to that one professor with Elisa. Yes, of course I do. A researcher wouldn't want to achieve something in their scientific career. Everyone dreams of becoming the next Asimov. If our research on copolymers succeeds, she envisions herself on the highest podium, her name etched at the pinnacle of history. A cryptic smile plays across the professor's lips. As my most brilliant student, you'll certainly have access to the finest resources at my disposal. He introduces Anji to Kurano Corporation. Before Anji can even process the fact that the head of Norman Moniko's research lab has connections to Kurano, she finds herself captivated by Kurano's tantalizing promises. Generous compensation, expanded laboratory privileges, and they offer to provide materials and test subjects free of charge for Anji's research. With one condition: all research findings must be shared with Kurano. As a senior researcher, Anji stands at a clearance level that's more sufficient for her to carry out this undertaking. The good times proved short-lived. After Babylonia passed a proposal to shut down illegal laboratories and research products, Kurano's operations became more discreet, cutting off Anji's access to additional resources. Oh, right! That law that was passed for it. The one that we talked about before, the others who were using experiments for this, like Alpha and them. And the one where they had used prisoners for this as well. Kind of like back to the whole Vonnegut thing. Soon a new opportunity presents itself. But that was with Vonnegut, right? Or was it someone different? I don't remember anymore. Babylonia decides to develop the Constantine mine in collaboration with Norman Mining Corps. The Constantine mine? The heavily invested tantalum mine? Indeed. You wanted the other half of the research data, didn't you? When the accident struck the Constantine mine, I barely managed to escape with just this research notebook. Everything else remains stored in the laboratory deep within the mine. I've already requested assistance from Kurano. Our mining corps will dispatch several researchers to help them reopen the mine. I submitted your name as one of the candidates. But Professor, I'm just a researcher. The mine itself has been infected by the punishing, no? The mine is well known to every tantalum research laboratory. It was once Norman Mining Corps' crowning achievement, a pinnacle that every tantalum research facility aspired to reach. But it's long been occupied by the corrupted, no? Kurano will dispatch armed combat units to assist you. Isn't there anyone else who could do this? I mean, I don't consider myself knowledgeable about that mine. I'll transfer clearance for the mine to you. My laboratory is down there. My access level surpasses what you get as a normal researcher. Seeing Archie's hesitation, the professor shakes his head, his voice taking on a hint of pity. I'm not asking. You know how to write to refuse, Anji. I know exactly what her professor is saying. Anji now seems somewhat disturbed. Noticing this, the professor softens and changes the subject. You need to understand what we're talking about here, Anji. We're talking about extremely valuable data about tantalum copolymers, about humanity's future. Once we obtain this data, it'll be our pride and Kurano's newest bargaining chip. Ah, I see. That's why they wanted to keep this hidden from Babylonia. Because again, Kurano was trying to make their own kind of constructs. Lady Manzano was trying to make her own kind of constructs that could be the next gen. But in the end, Babylonia had it. So they're trying to go even further beyond, with an even greater construct plan for the future. Maybe similar to like what they've already done with the Livaperia frame and the Lee Hyperreal frame. With this new copolymer research, I wouldn't be stuck in that backwater place like Norman Mining Corps. Professor, are you feeling okay? I'm getting old. Therefore, Anji, all our hopes now rest with you. Bring back the other half of my life's work. Bring back what we seek. It will take us to new heights. Of course, Professor, but I have a few conditions I'd like Kurano to meet. Go ahead. As long as your requests are reasonable, we'll do our best to accommodate them within our means.
Add my assistant's name to the list. He's helped me with numerous experiments, and I need his help to organize the data. Also,
stop dawdling, get moving. The lab the geezer mentioned should be right up ahead. The crude voice snaps Anji back to reality. Clouds of dust fill her lungs and send her in a coughing fit. Are you seriously still dragging that corpse around? Soldier's harsh words drove Sanji into a horrifying realization. The grievously wounded assistant, whom she had been carrying all this time, had long since drawn his last breath. Taking a deep breath, Anji gently lowers her assistant's body onto the ground beside the mining tunnel.
sorry, but could you help me bury him? He was an excellent researcher.
Cut the chatter. Look, it's not that we don't want to help, but the ground here is solid rock. We can't even do it damage with bullets. Just leave him there.
Got it.
The colonel soldier tossed her assistant's body into the abyss below the mining tunnel unceremoniously. Anji almost meant to speak, but the words don't. God damn, asshole. Then again, I guess nothing left behind. The professor has shown Anji a detailed map of the laboratory that specifically marks the secret passages they had reinforced. Following the map, they quickly locate the laboratory entrance, but the dust-covered control panel remains lifeless, so the secret laboratory never existed at all. Damn it. Where's your researcher's access card?
I've reactivated a card in my palm, and I'm the only one able to make them work.
Damn it, what are you waiting for then? As he neared the laboratory, Colonel Soldier grows increasingly brazen. Oblique prods Anji with his weapon, demanding she hurry up and unlock the control panel.
My professor said that all laboratories here are encrypted. Only humans with active vital signs can open them.
She swiftly passes her hand over the control panel and gradually becomes aglow. The same panel that remains stubbornly responsive to all of Colonel Soldier's attempts. What a pain in the ass. If you ask me, not a single one of these researchers is worth a damn.
The vital fluid trail hasn't stopped so far, and there's fresh blood here. Someone's been injured.
She crouches down to examine the bloodstains on the ground more carefully. It's still fresh. There's even a lingering trace of gunpowder in the air. The conflict must have happened very recently.
These drag marks in the blood. They're trying to move this human somewhere. Are we really going to press forward?
What do you think, Bridget?
Yeah, we're pressing forward. Whatever else Anji was, she came into the mines as a Norman Mining Corps employee. Support force will have a hard time justifying ourselves to Norman Mining Corps in Babylonia if we don't keep looking for her. But this is way out of my jurisdiction. Wait, I'm hearing something. Coming from over there.
She furrows her brows, gaze fixed on the mine tunnel in the distance. So am I. It's faint, like metal scraping against metal.
There are many metal doors throughout the mine tunnel. Must be the sound of one of them opening. A laboratory in the mines. Huh.
The position is close to the top of the inverted tower. Let me see how far. Okay, as long as I can get to 50%, I think this should be good. While Constantine mining facility might seem mundane enough on the ground, its underground structures resemble those of magnificent inverted tower when viewed in isolation. Mining tunnels sprawl in all directions, nearly hollowing out the entire foundation beneath the wilderness, with all the small labs dotting the branches of these tunnels. With easy access to raw materials, their researchers hardly ever leave their posts, completely absorbed in their work. Everyone understands that the deeper the laboratory is located, the more advanced and cutting edge its research becomes. A fact never explicitly stipulated to them. As they negotiate the winding path, the intermingled trails of vital fluid and blood grow more frequent.
Scylla was still chasing after them. He should have gone back for reinforcements. He won't last long. Then he's lost such a big amount of vital fluid.
On the ground, the trail of vital fluid abruptly ends. The blood continues to streak forward.
Clear drag marks extend toward a side tunnel, where a shadowy figure lies motionless on the ground. Scylla! Wait, it could be a trap. Gesture toward Lucia, who, having acknowledged your gesture with a nod, produces a flare and tosses it out ever so carefully. The cold light reveals the construct's body, now completely devoid of vital signals. Pain pierces through her mind, but Bridget fights to stay calm, clenching her fist as she steps forward to examine Scylla's body. It's a gunshot wound near the core. That's what causes vital fluid to leak out. There's people hiding in the mines. They gotta be the ones behind this. There might be more than one group involved. If it's surface dusted, the rock now reveals deeply embedded footprints, far too deep to have been left by any normal human. I'm sure you put up a good fight, Scylla. I'll take it from here for you. Should mark Scylla's location in the mine tunnel. Eyes now dark will resolve. Let's keep moving. There's still blood on the ground. We might catch up to them before they can do anything else. Is it possible that this teammate of yours was... well, maybe he accepted something from Angie and her people, but then things went south during negotiations, they ended up in a fight? Impossible. What makes you say so, though? There was this incident that I experienced, and I don't know if I'd call it a betrayal. After my promotion to my current position as support force captain, I conducted thorough background checks on all squad members. I've also carefully scrutinized the records of every new recruit joining our ranks. Feeling called out, Churchill whips his nose awkwardly. Besides, without third-party assistance, it would have been impossible for Angie and her deputy to hurt Scylla. I want to believe that Angie too was likely coerced into leaving by the third party. The trail leads to here. Appears to be a drainage system in the mine, but muddy from constant use. Would they really build their laboratory in a place like this? You never know what they're capable of. This place? It's nothing. They'd burn the bedrock if they could. Some things are meant to stay in the dark after all. You seem quite familiar with all of this. Am I? I wouldn't know. Perhaps it's because we're both inferior beings. That's why we think alike. Does Trojan really have no recollections whatsoever? Bridget watches cautiously as Trojan walks ahead. Why does she seem so familiar with this place? And what exactly is she trying to do here? Don't worry. Lucy and I will help. Ever since entering the mine, Bridget's been on edge, meticulously planning every move. Despite such careful precaution, she's been losing one comrade after another all the same. Bridget's self-reproach threatens to overflow to the dilapidated sewers. Yeah, I'm fine. I'm just thinking about what we should do next. Sheriff should have the transceiver fixed soon. At least we'll be able to maintain communications amongst ourselves. And then, easy. Bridget lets out a long sigh. She's well aware of how unusual she herself has been acting lately. Orient consumer as those nightmares, which until now she's been suppressing, resurface. All these negative emotions came bursting out at the sight of Scylla's corpse. Dark volcanoes broken loose within her mind. Don't worry. I'm sure I'll get a grip on myself soon enough. Let's keep moving.
まさか下水道の先がこんな場所とつながっているなんて。
Hey, I got Lucia here with me. What's going on? Where the ship is.
ここに積み上げられているのは廃棄された構造体ね。どうしてこんなに。まさか全部実験の失敗によるものなの？
I see. For their new construct technology. Let's observe first. These bodies seem to have been here for a long time, but vital fluid drained out and full of dust. Most of them don't have any signs of punishing virus infection. Let's check the one on the left. No obvious marks of identity, no scratches, no big wounds. There's blood and vital fluid on the ground at the same time. What happened here? Many guards. fight back with everyone. Someone told them. Sewer, elevator can't activate. Many white-clothed adults. Adults don't sleep. Always guarded. Can't open door. Lab F. To floor 3. Not possible. Okay. Oh, I see. So we're on this one at the very right where it shows water, I think. Junkyard outside, pretend to be dead. Oh. So they tried to escape. So I had to go to Lab F, so to my right. Go straight, don't go left. Go right all the way to the control room, so the first left. Hopefully I remember all this. I doubt it. Oh, not this shit again. Come on. No, you cannot be fucking serious. Am I actually stuck again? Bro, what the fuck is this shit? Jesus, man. How many times do I gotta have this happen? Third fucking time. Okay, I'll just make sure not to investigate the body. Or at least I'll check the one on the left. Not the one on the right. God damn it. It's like, that was at the beginning, man. Come on. Again, like, I imagine that this was more for, like, when you play, but it's like, how would you also do for keyboard and mouse that's also becoming an issue, too? Kind of why it's like, these, like, the parts made, like, just for mobile, because was I supposed to, like, function more buttons for to do certain things at this point? Because, like, what the fuck? My CT rule 1, choose the root, okay. At least I know what to do.
まさか下水道の先がこんな場所とつながっているなんて。
Yeah, I'll just investigate this stuff for the achievements.
ここに積み上げられているのは廃棄された構造体ね。どうしてこんなに。
Yeah, the one on the
まさ
left.
か全部実験の失敗によるものなの。
Okay. Yeah, now I at least know where to go.
このゲートは手術実験室に通じているようです。入りますか？
Oh, you've got to be again? Why? How many more times? Motherfucker. Seriously, why the fuck is this still happening? Okay, I'm gonna just have to see what happens if I move forward. Otherwise, it's like, I'm gonna have to do this shit again. And it, like, why? Cut me a freaking break, man. It's too late for me to try to learn how to do mouse and keyboard. Alright, fine. Let's try this shit again. If not, I might just have to try to do it like my phone again. It's getting annoying. Like it really is. You need to fix that. Alright, I'm gonna skip checking those bodies this time because I'm just gonna waste too much damn time. I'm gonna see if I can find all the other stuff first and see what happens.
まさか下水道の先がこんな場所とつながっているなんて。
Okay, yeah, so just go forward here. No other choice. I see. Yeah, so I probably was supposed to get the ID card from there. Whatever. It's fine.
アンジェはここから入ったのでは。
外は危ないってあれほど言い聞かせてたのに。
この行動はパニッシングが漏洩しないよう永久的に封鎖されていたはずですよね。ですが
ロックされている。アンロックにはそうね。むしろ道中で見かけた全てのものが誰かによる意図的な封鎖を。当時表向きに話されていたことのほとんどが嘘だと考えた方が良さそうね。
これほどの侵食体が集まっているということは先ほど誰かがここを通ったということですか。
一歩たりとも超えさせない。一歩たりとも超えさせない。その程度も。これで全部ね。侵食体が集まっていたところに行ってみましょう。
Ooh, a control panel. Nice.
足跡が向かっている先は制御室のような場所でしょうか。
Neat. Am I actually supposed to be here? I actually don't know if I'm supposed to. Whatever. Okay, no one hiding behind here. What's this? Oh, shit. Alright. Nothing here. Shut this up.
システムはまだ動くわね。このファイルは。
Alright, let's open the door.
回路を再び接続したわ。進みましょう。
No! Oh, okay.
システムはまだ動くわね。
Computer lock.
このファイルは。
Oh, I don't know, man. Damn, maybe that would be if I checked that other room, the lab. My friend at the mine went missing. They all said he must have died in the collapse incident. I don't believe it. I'm gonna go find him. I heard it's hard to get materials up there. Now we're running out of them, so they started to catch miners who found it down there to make it up. But who cares about them? So like maybe they pretended that they give the materials to researchers who are actually keeping it for themselves? Alright. Found everything I need. Where am I going? Oh yeah, it said B2, but where exactly is that? Is that other door I passed a while back? Let's see if it is. If not, it's fine, but I just want to check for myself. Yeah, so it wouldn't be this. Just want to see if it would be this. Probably not, but... Nope. Okay, fine. Oh, wow. This is B2. Okay, yeah, so I had to go there anyway. Gotcha.
私は工場の奥の隠し部屋に。助けて、セキュリティシステムを全てオフにして。
足止めするわ。ルシアは操作を。
気をつけてください。この蜂たち巣から出続けてきます。先にあの巣を破壊しないと。
大丈夫。これは最終警告。前方注意、会議して。ここは私が食い止める。ここは私が食い止める。その程度の。一歩たりとも超えさせない。前方注意、会議して。前方注意、会議して。
あちらの操作は完了したようですね。ではこちらも。
Why the fuck are you people messing with me? Fucking shit.
Oh my god, I hate this. Okay.
Seriously, why do they keep doing this to me, man? It's ridiculous.
Alright, give me like another couple minutes. I'll be back. Alright, I'm back again. Sorry about that. But alright, this time I got access of. I made sure to take screenshots of new things I found. Okay, so when I investigated the lab F, the one that I couldn't get into unless I solved the puzzle, that first door, we found a body that was technically a construct, but not like the ones that we normally know. And also, even though there was a lab, like, not a bed, but what do they call it? Well, you know, where people lay down when, like, you go to the doctor's office, that kind of thing. There was one like that, but it was kept very clean. So it's like, if the researchers were focusing on escaping, why would that spot have been, like, very clean when that should have been the least of their worries? And because I checked there and had the key card from that room, I got 2 more extra pieces of information, hidden contents from the first one, from that first report and the second report. So a hidden thing on the first report. We have gotten the preliminary form of tantalum copolymer and started to carry out experiments on materials. Unfortunately, some of them failed to adjust to the copolymer. Researchers thus decided to start tests to find out the best copolymer proportion. And then the second one says, due to the NDA, we are not allowed to note down the detailed lab progress of the tantalum copolymer. We will explain a great experiment in chronological order. So it was that they were carrying out those new formula constructs to create down there as well. And then we did end up finding Anji. She was within a hatch because what she had done is once she had let them further down, making them think that there was no way they could progress any further and having to wait, Anji basically pressed the alarm, was able to seal herself away, and then thermal weapons were striking down the 2 Kurino soldiers who were holding her at gunpoint initially. And while researchers from Norman Mining Corp are able to access a few public laboratories with the access cards they have, Anji is the other access card that she got from her professor, which those Kurino soldiers did not know about. And according to Leonardo, based on a flashback Trojan was having when she felt uneasy the more she entered the place, Leonardo said that the family did pick her up from a Constantine mine, but they couldn't find any records on her background before that. They couldn't find reasons why Norman Mining Corp recruited her in the first place. There's only one report mentioning that she used to work at Norman Mining Corp's Constantine mine, but nothing more than that, according to Leonardo, aka Teddy's brother. So that was all the extra information that we had gotten at the time. But Anji's not telling us anything further just yet. Just thought I should let you guys know, since again I had to do that like on my phone. Okay, I'm making sure to have it with me at all times now. Poignant air now pervades the temporary camp, so his remains have been retrieved and properly laid to rest, but the knowledge of lurking enemies keeps everyone on edge. Anji, are you just gonna stay quiet? The spectacled researcher maintains her silence. Before the mission, as a precaution, I reviewed your background records. Born right before Babylonia's ascension, outstanding academic performance in Babylonia, joined Norman Mining Corps' Advanced Tantalum Research Lab after graduation, quickly promoted to head researcher. You had no reason to conspire with forces outside of Babylonia, unless Norman Mining Corps ordered you to do so. You can trust us. Researchers from Norman Mining Corps have been isolated on the other side, and everyone present is from Babylonia. We mean you no harm. Anji's gaze softens a bit, but she still shows no intention of speaking. I was hoping it wouldn't come to this. Trojan, it's all up to you now. I told you before, when dealing with rats, you've got to think like one. Your rehabilitation approach won't cut it. She lifts the curtain and saunters in a lazy stride. Alright, leave the rest to me. Here's your last chance. You see, I'm not exactly known for playing nice. Seeing Anji's persistent refusal to speak, Bridget shakes her head and exits the makeshift tent. Any progress? Still refusing to talk. Interrogation isn't part of support forces training. I talked myself hoarse, but she wouldn't say a word. I could really use a beer-flavored electrolyte drink right about now. So, Trojan. I asked for her assistance since they're both from Norman Mining. It seemed reasonable to have her conduct the questioning. But to be honest, I'm not sure if having Trojan question Anji was the right decision. After everything that happened, I maintained my suspicions about her. But seeing her current state, I'm not sure my distrust is just causing her more harm. I truly saw her as both my closest friend and mentor, but how did she really see me back then? Whose side was she really on back then? And now, is she truly just another Norman employee? I don't know. It's rare to see you so lost in thought. I suppose the Constantine mine has always been an emotional burden for me. Bridget speaks with unflinching honesty. I grew up in Constantine. I lost my parents at this mine. And when I try to find traces of them, I lost even more. The deeper they bury it, the more I'm convinced that they're hiding something unscrupulous. That's exactly how it is. The failed constructs piled up in the laboratory just now, a terrifying bloodstained record, even that crude map that's clearly been drawn by a child. They all bear witness to the dark sins committed here. Ah, that's why it was all misspelled, right? You made the right decision. Hey, thanks. Runner Consort gives a thumbs up. It's quite the rare honor, getting recognition from the Grey Raven Commandant. As you speak, the curtain behind them parts. Trojan, in the same state she was in before, peeks her head through. Come on in. Let's see what you want to know. And supposedly Trojan did volunteer because she feels like she has some unfinished business here, but she doesn't know what it is. Because it really does seem like she doesn't remember anything from back then, so like maybe they did take pieces of her memory from then. Without a doubt, Trojan's unconventional methods have clearly put pressure on Anji. She's gone from looking determined to somewhat desperate and despaired. Kurano was the one who asked me to carry out this mission for them. Them again.
After facing multiple suppressions, Kurano's remained dormant for a long time, staying out of sight until now. It's Kurano. They want me to use my credentials as a researcher from Norman Mining Corps to retrieve research data about the tantalum copolymers from the mine's laboratory. Tantalum copolymers? According to our projections, if the tantalum copolymer is successfully developed, its range of compatibility will exceed that of tantalum 193. This means more humans who are incompatible with tantalum 193 could be converted into constructs. Oh, I see. That's what it was. That's why they kept this a secret, so they can have an even greater amount of soldiers. That they wouldn't always have to go through the screenings and checkings. Like, they could make their own little private army like the ARU had tried to do before. Not only that, even if it went out in the open, they could propose for a lot to give Babylonia access to it. But again, they would still control the supply. They could be like, give us more seats on the council. I mean, maybe not directly, but it could end up leading to it because, again, that would spur humanity, and technically humanity would exist, but more so as constructs, to find the battle to get closer to the end goal. I see. I don't really understand all that, but go on. That's it. I'm not sure the experiment was successful. This is just a theoretical possibility, and I haven't had time to review the data I just copied. Give me a reason to trust you. After a moment's pause, a bitter smile across Anji's face. Kurano never wanted me and the data to leave together. They only wanted data. The Kurano soldiers' mission was to eliminate everyone else who knew about this when they have the data. The laboratory and the mine was jointly funded and built by Kurano and Norman Mining Corps. Kurano was also the one who left the test subjects to rot there. Ah, I see. Again, making it look like it was the punishing that took them when it was their own experiments doing so. And yeah, again, it's like, this is something that's like, Teddy/Leonardo's grandfather, he definitely would have been in on this. And that's why it's like, we can thank them now because they were able to give us permission to finally come here. But it would have just been another secret. I see. Yeah, and again, it's like, that's why they were fine with eliminating the guy. It didn't matter necessarily too much about getting the research, because again, someone was going to do it eventually. They just need to wait for the right time, because this was still going on. Because again, in the end, Constantine Mine still kept operating. The Parliament has passed a proposal to eliminate all illegal laboratories and research projects. If the experiments here were to be exposed, there would be another devastating blow to Kurano's influence. Ah, I see. So it's like, again, another reason to eliminate the people. It wasn't so much to guarantee that they have this research, just to make more so just to ensure their own safety and not lose even more of their power than they already have by that point. Because again, a lot of their stuff has been coming to light now, the stuff with Alpha, and then with some of the other constructs as well. Like, it's all going to start to add up at some point, and then when it gets too much, no matter how much money and connections they have, it won't deter all of their sins. So they let my assistant bleed to death. She keeps what happened afterward to herself. I used my researcher clearance to get rid of them, but it couldn't escape from the corrupted in the mine tunnels. I ended up trapped in the incubation chamber. Yeah, so it's like she did separate them, leaving them trapped somewhere to be eliminated. They ran back and just hid. In any case, I have you to thank for saving my life. You're welcome. So, those researchers we saw when we entered the mine, did Kurano do them in too? I'm not sure. After a moment of contemplation, Anji offers a response. Kurano only sent 2 soldiers to assist me with my mission. Based on when they contacted me, they must have entered the mine after we did. The mine explosion and the lost contact are the Kurano soldiers doing. But those researchers' bodies, they shouldn't have had time for that kind of handiwork. So something else is in here. The image of that inhuman footprint from the mine suddenly flashes through your mind. Oh, right, that. But it looks over, apparently having the same thoughts as you. Kurano's forces aren't the only enemies in it. Oh, maybe one of their experiments gone wrong. They're still lurking here. I see. Bridget steps out of the tent with the files Anji transmitted. She suddenly stops in her tracks. Let me see a bit more. Oh, so that must be what it was. What possibly happened to Bridget's parents? Because again, they were just rescuers. They must have accidentally rescued someone who also had found that information, just like Hyde did. And they were helping them on their way out, but they had accidentally interacted with, or met up with Kurano's forces, and then they had to eliminate all of them. Be like, hey, why would you kill them and that stuff? I was like, they couldn't leave anything to chance, because again, by that point, the NDA had already passed. Is there something else? Well, the first page of the document lists the names of test subjects for the initial experimental group. Each entry comes with an identification photo to help the lead researchers track their subjects. The research project is Human Tolerance to Tantalum Copolymers, and the lead researcher was Hyde. Yep, there we go. It was him. Something begins to dawn on her. As she quickly scrolls through the list, her eyes fall upon a highlighted name. Blue-haired consort. Trojan? That's impossible. As tremble, she frantically scans through. Oh, right. Because Hyde did say he would be the only one who knew how to fix her frame. Oh my. So she's another case like Nanami, where she was a specially made construct, not through Babylonian means. Wow, okay. That also explains her very volatile existence, with her being connected to Kurano and Norman Mining Corps at the time. Likely due to time constraints, the file Anji managed to copy are incomplete, containing only snippets of information. Subject Trojan, female. Source purchased from traffickers. Need a researcher. Time log for compatibility test on tantalum copolymers trial 1. Time log for compatibility test on tantalum copolymers trial 2. Trial X. Compatibility results favorable. Proceeding with construct modification procedures. Shit. First time Bridget, usually well mannered, but slip occurs. The experimental data, name, and photos before, she can't deceive herself into thinking this is impossible. That there must be some mistake. There's no choice but to accept the truth. She, who always tried to avoid making choices, always wanted to save everyone, failed to save someone she once called friend. She never even noticed her signs of suffering. Bridget? Back then, the researcher she tried to kill in the mine. Hyde, it is. Did I screw up? Stares at the documents before her was in shock. Oh, because that would mean, unlike the other constructs who would have another frame to go into, she wouldn't, right? It's like that would be it for her. Okay, now we're getting. Now the stakes are really getting high. Alright, we'll do one last one. But damn! Finally learning about Trojan. Like, I knew she was definitely different from the normal type of construct. I didn't think she would be anything like the kind of existence that Ishmael is or anything, but still. To be another unique construct like that of Nanami, created through other means, is crazy. When the mission assignment meeting comes to an end, a figure shows up and stands in your way. Santos, do you have a moment to talk? As those words hang in the air, Lucia comes to a halt next to you. After a brief nod to Lucia, you move your church into a quiet corner of the camp. Is there anything unclear about the mission I just assigned? Well, there is something. About what comes next? Trojan's hand traces circles in the air as she speaks. It freezes mid-motion before dropping. Gradually, her tense posture loosens. What do you mean? Never mind. You're not really who I think you are. I thought you'd be more empathetic and encourage people to open up about their troubles. Never thought I'd come across that way to anyone. I see myself as a perfectly ordinary commandant. Nothing more. Fine. I'll cut to the chase. What intel did Bridget, or should I say all of you, get from Anji? She's been avoiding me all day. I tried talking to Anji, but she seemed genuinely clueless. The answer has to lie in those documents she brought back. Getting no answers sure just switches to a more tactical approach. To be honest, I find it hard to imagine. Just she begins, something seems to cross her mind. It's that tired laugh, palms turned upward. That sunflower-like fellow actually taking the initiative to use their head for once? What exactly is in those files? Life sometimes ventures into the night. Georgia catches wind and immediately responds. In long silence, he softly lets out a single sentence. I always thought the sun never set in Bridget's world. That's an interesting way to put it. What made you think that? My memory serves me correctly, the first thing you said when you met her was... No, Bridget. I'm Trojan. Luckily recites her own words from before the operation, not waiting for you to speak. Yeah, I remember. I know what you're talking about. I'm not familiar with her. At least not as far as my current memories go, but this feeling can't be wrong. What feeling? How about the mine? Or Bridget? The question seems to tear through an invisible veil. Despite her extensive interrogation experience, Judge realizes she's being led along by a simple verbal maneuver. The conversation has long since shifted from what she wants to know to what you want to know. But that also explains what's like why she knew, like why she kept getting deja vu as she kept moving over, and why she was the perfect assassin, because she was very familiar with the area. But whether she had her full memories of that back then before they took it out or not, I can't really say. Doesn't matter anymore. So what you want to know happens to be what she wants to know too. This thought Trojan opens up a little. Same difference. Both Bridget and the mind give me the same uneasy feeling. Every piece of information tells me, reminds me, that our paths have crossed before. No matter how many times I search through my memories, I can't find the answer. But I guess I'm fine with not remembering things since I'm already struggling trying to get by each day, but... I just seems to notice Trojan's gaze, her body tensing for a moment. As I turn around, she awkwardly walks further away. Would you want to be a hidden bomb? The kind that could go boom at any moment? To be honest, I don't care about who I used to be, but... Georgia raises her hand toward Lucia, then pulls it back. It's obvious what she's getting at. Right? But a bomb goes off, it's one thing if it just destroys itself. It won't be right for people around it to get hurt because of the explosion. I can't speak for others, but I'm sure you know exactly what I mean since you've been through so much yourself as a Graver Commandant. No? All I want is a safety pin. That's all. I don't know. Fuck me being the good guy because I'm the commandant. Fine. You're about to speak your mind, the figure who soundly approached you interrupts the moment. Santos and Trojan. Nice save. Santos, I'm here to speak with you since Cheryl's made some progress. Requires your immediate attention though. I was wondering if, you want to head over now. Trojan face each other. Voices gradually trailing off until only a wordless gaze remains between them. Trojan's the first to break the silence, raising both hands in mock surrender. Alright. I'm not gonna probe any further. Let's just drop it here. It's starting to feel like some cheesy drama scene. It's getting a bit too awkward. Let's go and check on Cheryl. Was there something urgent we need to handle? Trojan steps forward to walk past Bridget toward a cab. Bridget suddenly grabs hold of her. What I mean is, you never done anything heinous, at least according to the records. Well, I can't be absolutely certain whether you're a ticking time bomb or not, but at least for now, you're not keeping gunpowder under your hat. Got it. Well, never mind. Let's leave it at that. Doesn't matter if I don't get it. Thanks. Let's focus on the task at hand. We can talk when we're done. Yeah. Cheryl and several normal researchers are gathered around a piece of equipment working intently. And the progress you're talking about is... Cheryl and her team found a radio in the mine. With help from these researchers, we modified both the transmitter and receiver. After multiple rounds of calibration, we can now pick up Babylonia's communication frequencies. As the team works diligently around the sound of the radio, your mind begins to drift elsewhere. Is something wrong? Equipment's working fine. We've already made contact with Babylonia. We're just adjusting our settings to match their parameters for a more stable connection. It's not the equipment I'm worried about. I was just thinking. The modified radio equipment, transmitter, and receiver all consume substantial power. When are you gonna power them on? Cheryl's been hunched over the radio equipment, rests to her feet with a heavy sigh. Some circuits in the mine are still operational, so we connected them to the working power sources. Is there a problem with that? To answer Cheryl's question, you exchange glances with Bridget. Impression shifts to that momentary surprise to deepest concern. There shouldn't be any power source here. Even if there were some residual power left, I don't think it's nearly enough to run all this equipment. Certainly not with the current level of stability. Which means there's something in the mine. Sensing what's happening, Cheryl and Norma's researchers set down their tools and quietly leave the quarters. You seem to be holding up well. Is that better than I anticipated? Hard to say. How's everything looking out there? Babylonia took immediate action after losing contact with your team. Engineering forces already arrived and set up camp around the mine's perimeter. We completed our survey at the mine's outer layer, but the situation isn't looking good. Even with the blueprints provided by Norman Mining Corps, well, all the regular channels have collapsed, haven't they? Carnine is working on alternative solutions. The existing path proves impassable, we'll dig a new tunnel from the side. But that would be too long. Are there any hostile entities threatening your safety in the mine? There are entities threatening our data security. Furthermore, if things keep going the way they have, I can't guarantee anyone's safety. I see. Give me a second. I'm exactly where he likes right now. Why are we not taking my proposal into consideration here, sir? Oh. The already unstable image warps into source as a never figure so limited. I'm the one who can help you out of this mess. A pleasure to meet you, Grey Raven Commandant. Since neither engineering force nor Xanthos seem capable of resolving the current situation, why not hear out my proposal? Don't tell me. He's from Kurino too? Despite the poor visibility, there's almost searching and eager intensity in their gaze. The mineshaft blueprints in Norman Mining Corporation's possession are actually incomplete. After all, Kurino is the one who truly lives and operates in these underground facilities. We possess more detailed and comprehensive information. Perhaps some of it could help Support Force and you, Grey River Commander, find your way to safety. At what cost, though? Easy there. You're a distinguished figure in Babylonia, Commandant, and we go way back, right? Of course, this information represents Kurino's investment of both effort and capital. As much as I'd love to share it with you at no cost, the regulations simply wouldn't permit such generosity. And your point being... Very well, very well. Suppose life on the ground has made you ever tense. It's merely trying to lighten the mood with some pleasantries. Rest assured, we don't need much. Just a small piece of information will suffice. Damn, I want to continue, but I think this is a good place to end the stream for now. Because I already like 2:14. Now I've done about like 3 hours of streaming. But I do hate that it's like, I can't do some of these puzzle things, because it's like, that's just how it is. Like I should be doing it on my phone, but I don't know how to do that, so yeah. But alright, definitely getting interesting, because again, tying up more loose ends at Norma Mining Court, and once again, Kurano back to their old ways. But actually learning more about Trojan as well? I didn't expect that. Especially since, like, Bridge is on the cover here. I mean, it's fine, you know, because again, it's like, Bridge is just someone who's just searching for answers about what happened back then. It doesn't have to be, like, too much of a dramatic backstory, or, like, just seeing, like, what would potentially be like all her suffering and such. Just focuses more on like the present and what she can do to make amends with, or I guess to reconcile with the situation in the past. But actually learning Trojan's real identity, that's interesting. But yeah, what are they gonna ask for us in return? I'll be curious. But anyway, that's gonna be the end of the stream for tonight, everybody. Again, sorry it ended up this way where it's like I have to take pauses here and there. For those of you watching on Twitch, unfortunately that's how it is, because I can only pause my recording that I use for the VOD on YouTube, but it is what it is. So yeah, tomorrow, or I guess later today, we'll continue with East 9 Monster Knox, continuing some side quests if I remember correctly, and actually checking out the Coliseum, and hopefully we can get closer to completing the chapter, because again, want to potentially try to complete East 9 somewhere like early October, so then I can start new stuff on Sundays, but we'll have to see how that goes. But anyway, if you guys did enjoy the stream by now already found the channel, please make sure to leave a follow. Much appreciated. Check my YouTube channel where I post all the VODs, subscribe to it as well. Enjoy this call you guys not ready. Links to all those are on the channel. But this has been Xantos Fights. I hope you guys have a great rest of your night. See you guys next time. We're out.
多くの者が九龍を誤解しています。特に芸術協会。九龍は数百年も停滞した旧文明ではない。古風な話でもすでにいません。彼らは九龍の歴史に無関心すぎる。失礼千万です。